Don Fortune along with Len Dawson. We're at the Coliseum. The Los Angeles Raiders, we've got to call them now. And Lenny, what do the Chiefs have to do to beat this solid Raider ball club?
Don, you hit it on the head when you said a solid football club. The Raiders are exactly that. Their defense is playing extremely well for the Raiders, with the exception of last week against the Redskins. Offensively, they're well balanced, mixing the run with the pass. And the man that makes that offense go is number 32, Marcus Allen. Last year, he was the Rookie of the Year in the National Football League. He is the man that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to have to contain in order to contain that offense of the now Los Angeles Raiders.
I wonder how many times we're going to say Oakland Raiders, Len Dawson. All right, the Chiefs have won the toss, and they will receive. There you see Chris Barr about to tee it up here to kick off. The veteran in his 8th year now from Penn State. Kansas City back to receive the opening kickoff. It is an overcast day in Los Angeles. The sun has been in and out today, and that's also very on the humid side. Perhaps a little bit unusual for this time of year in California. Kansas City, oddly enough, has won 5 of the last 7 games with the Raiders. The Raiders snapped their 3-game losing streak by winning last year 21-16 in their opening meeting in the strike-shortened season. We are underway as Theodis Brown returns the kickoff and doesn't get much. Kansas City again having problems returning kicks. They'll put the ball in play at about the 14-yard line for the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll set the offense for you here as Kansas City puts it in play. Bill Kinney starting at quarterback. The setbacks, Jarrell Thomas and Billy Jackson, but you're going to see a lot, I'm sure, of Theodis Brown, Carson and Marshall, the wide receivers, and Eddie Beckman is in at tight end. The offensive line, Rush at center, Buddy and Simmons at the guard in place of Tom Condon. And, of course, the tackles for Kansas City will be Matt Heckenhoff and Dave Lutz. All right, it is Kansas City's ball now, 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. First play of the game, Kinney handing off to Jarrell Thomas, and Thomas doesn't get much. And then, right off the bat, the Chiefs start trying to run the football.
Well, right off the bat, Don, they had two tight ends in the ball game, hoping to get out of the hole down there and get things moving.
Let's set the defense for Los Angeles. Long and Alzado at the ends. Reggie Kinlaw is at the middle. They'll play at 3-4. Hendricks, Millen, Nelson, and Martin are the linebackers. And the deep secondary, the veteran and all-pro Lester Hayes, Ted Watt, Mac Davis, and McElroy. All right, we'll make it a gain of 2 on the last play. 2nd down at 8. Kinney back to throw under the gun, and they nail him. Number 55, the inside linebacker, Matt Millen, just sacked him.
Matt Millen is a big, strong linebacker, about 250 or 55 pounds. Kinney does not see him at all. Linebackers are coming. Took too much time to get rid of the football. Apparently they were all covered. He goes down, the first sack of the game. Now this defensive line of the Raiders, they are extremely good at rushing the passer. First down is so very important for the Kansas City Chiefs. They've got to get some yardage on first down to stay away from the situation they're in right now, 3rd and 17.
Kansas City with a single back and a shotgun. The Raiders go into their nickel defense. Kinney in his own end zone on 3rd and 17. Has plenty of time. Throws over the middle. It's incomplete. He was looking for Anthony Hancock on the play, and Henry Marshall on the play, and it's incomplete.
Down here, you're taking a look at the defense. Look at the secondary. Now, they're all flying back in the zone. You see the top left-hand portion of your screen that the defensive back is just going back in a zone. There are 3 Raiders right around Henry Marshall when the ball was thrown. First down is important. You've got to get some yardage on first down to eliminate that 3rd and long situation.
Stats on Jim Arnold. He's averaging not quite 38 yards a kick, and right now he is kicking from way deep in the back line of his end zone. He gets off a high kick. It'll be fielded at about the 40. That's Greg Pruitt. Pruitt, 45-yard line, breaks a tackle. Pruitt with some running room. Pruitt to the Kansas City 25-yard line. Trent Bryant, number 45, is the guy who brought him down, and Pruitt, who is just so good on returning punts, just showed you what he could do right there, Lenny.
Last week, it was a 97-yard return. This was a good kick because it was high, and he's going to get a wall that forms for him over here. Pruitt, number 34, a missed tackle there. Now the wall is forming, and Trent Bryant did a good job of stopping him right there. Had he gotten by Trent, I don't know if he got into the end zone, but he had gotten down to about the 10-yard line.
You saw what he did last week against the Washington Redskins. So the Raiders get great field position. 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 25-yard line on their first position of the game. Handoff, and they give it to Marcus Allen, and Allen doesn't get very much. John Zamberlin is in to make the tackle. Zamberlin starting at an inside linebacker spot. The 5th player to do that so far because of injuries to the Kansas City inside linebacker. Set the offense for you. Plunkett at quarterback. In the setbacks, Marcus Allen and Kenny King. Wide receivers, Branch is out today with an injury, so it's Muhammad and Barnwell. Christensen is the tight end. And there you see the offensive line. Dalby at center, Hanlon and Marvin at the guards, and Davis and Lawrence at the tackles.
Henry Lawrence and Art Sale is going to be a great matchup today.
That could be a good battle. Loss of 3 on that last play will make it 2nd down now and 13 at the Kansas City 28-yard line. Plunkett again to Marcus Allen. Allen finds a little bit of running room, but not too much. Gets maybe a yard and not much more. Last week, Allen, the Heisman Trophy winner, did not play against the Washington Redskins. He missed the game. I think he came in for 1 play on a kick return, but that was it. And when he's out of there, Len, they are still a good, solid ball club, aren't they?
Well, they do. They don't rely entirely on number 32, Marcus Allen. They'll utilize some of the other great talent that they have out there. Plunkett had a big day. Plunkett is not one that looks pretty, you know, in doing things. And he, for percentage-wise, he doesn't complete a lot of passes, but he completes a lot of big, big plays.
There's the defensive set for Kansas City. Green and Cherry in that deep secondary, along with Burris and Lucius Smith. Plunkett throwing, has time, gets it away, looking in the end zone, intercepted. Picked off by number 29, Albert Lewis, the nickelback. Kansas City was in the prevent defense of the nickel defense, and Albert Lewis makes the interception in the end zone. That is his 2nd interception of the year. So the Chiefs will put it in play. 1st and 10 at the 20 when we return here in Los Angeles. Glenn, the defense continues to make the big play for Kansas City. Last week, 7 interceptions in the ball game, and there you see Lewis doing it again. Well,
Jim Plunkett should not have thrown this ball. Look, he's flat-footed when he gets rid of the ball because somebody's right at his feet. He throws it into a crowd, 3 people down there, and the receiver didn't have a chance. Now, the big problem with Plunkett, he's been throwing interceptions. That's his 9th of the year.
On 1st down, Kinney goes to Henry Marshall. Marshall up over the 25, close to the 30-yard line. He may be a little bit short of the 1st down. He's tackled by the linebacker, number 51, Bob Nelson, 6-year pro out of Nebraska. The defense, of course, has kept the Chiefs in the football games. Certainly this season, the defense with 16 turnovers in the last 2 games, incredible. 7 interceptions in the last 2 games, and of course they lead the NFL now, forcing turnovers with 23.
Doing an outstanding job, and that was the 1st down play, Don. I had mentioned that they had to do something on 1st down to eliminate that 3rd and long.
They did give him the 1st down. They spot the ball exactly on the 30-yard line. We'll make it 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 30. Beckman, the tight end, in motion. Chiefs stay on the ground, and they do get some running room. Billy Jackson, the ball carrier, and Lyle Alzado is there to stop him.
There's a couple of matchups here that are really good. Dave Lutz is going against Howie Long. Howie Long, they believe, is their best defensive lineman. And Dave Lutz is going to have his hands full this afternoon with Howie Long. He's an outstanding defensive lineman. Every week, Dave is coming up against the best defensive line.
Every week he's facing somebody that's really solid on that side of the line. And I guess you could say it's because most teams are right-handed, right, Len?
Yes.
Carlos Carson in motion. Billy Jackson. Jackson gets maybe a yard up to about the 36-yard line. Reggie Kinlaw is there to stop him. Last week, Billy Jackson with a sensational 6-yard run, I thought, for a touchdown in that game against the Cardinals. Really, that's the first touchdown the Chiefs had scored on the ground, and it was really a superb run.
And they needed it badly because he broke about 2 tackles getting into the end zone. 6 yards doesn't seem like a long way to go, but when the 3 or 4 people hanging on you, it can make it a long ways, and he did a great job.
It's also a long way to go when you're only averaging 73 yards a game on the ground. Statistics on Bill Kinney, who's 12th in the AFC in passing. We're looking at a 3rd down and 4 at the 36-yard line. Kinney back to throw on 3rd down over the middle. 1st down and more. Carlos Carson. Carson up over the 45, maybe the 47-yard line. Good catch by Carlos Carson. Van McElroy and Ted Watts in the deep secondary are there to stop him. Nice catch by Carson, Len.
Yes, it was. He's coming across the middle, and it's dangerous in there because the linebackers are in there. Here you see him coming across. Defensive backs floating back. The linebacker is trying to get in his way, but he was much too slow to catch up with Carson. He's got too much speed. Here it is. Kenny reads it. Nobody is in the middle. There was not a linebacker in the middle. And Carlos Carson came across the middle, getting the ball in a hurry to pick up that 1st down. 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 46-yard line. Single back offense now. Beckman in motion. 2 wide receivers. Kenny back to throw on 1st down. A little bit short. There may be a flag down on the play. There is. They dropped the flag at the 40-yard line. He was looking for Carlos Carson on the play. We're going to see what the penalty is. Looks like it's going to be holding against Kansas City, Leonard. Well, that's what they they can ill afford to do. They can't put themselves in a hole because this Oakland team, or Oakland, there I said Oakland again. This Raider team is too good defensively to put yourself in a hole.
You said it first, so you lose. I haven't said it yet.
Well, you don't know how many times the Oakland Raiders beat up on me.
Holding number 72, offense, first down.
Well, it's David Lutz. Jerry Markbright, the referee, makes the call, and Lutz, as you said, having his problems right there with Howie Long, gets called for holding. Last week, Long had 4 sacks. He's had 4 sacks so far, rather. He had 2 last week. Face mask. That's the call. Personal foul. They'll mark the ball up at the 46.
Grabbing the face mask, number 55, defense. It is not an automatic first down. It is still first down.
Not intentional, only a 5-yard penalty, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 15.
Carlos Carson is out here. Now, he's a wide receiver, and this is the screen pass. He has to take his man deep, and then once the ball is thrown, he has to change from a receiver to a blocker.
Pitch out, Billy Jackson. Jackson across midfield of the Los Angeles territory, down to about the Raiders' 44-yard line. James Davis is there to make the tackle. So Kansas City, Leonard is running the football, and Billy Jackson running
it rather effectively in the early going here, which surprises me, perhaps, that they could run against the Raiders.
The Raiders are a good team against the run, but that first down is so very important, like I said, to pick up some yardage. Looking at head coach John Makovic, looking over his game plan and the plays that he wants to call. It was a good gain on that last play, picking up about 8 yards.
2nd down and a long 2 yards to go for the Kansas City first down at the Los Angeles 45-yard line. Chiefs going with 1 wide receiver flanked up top. Hand off again, Billy Jackson. Jackson should have the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Crowd thinks he didn't make it, but it looks like he may have made it. We'll see where they spot the football. Martin is there to make the tackle. The outside linebacker on the right side.
The Chiefs have been running to their left side against the defensive right side of the Raiders. It could be one of 2 reasons. One, they may think that side is perhaps a little weaker than the other side, or perhaps the strength of Kansas City's on the left side with Brad Buddy and Matt Herkenhoff, because Bob Simmons is 73. He's in there, but he's playing hurt right now. He's not completely healthy. Hurt his ankle this last week.
3rd down and less than a yard for the first down. They send Beckman in motion. Somebody moved on the right side. That was Howie Long in on Billy Jackson, but somebody moved on the right side for Kansas City. This one should go against the Chiefs.
If it goes against the Chiefs, they'll take the play. Matt Herkenhoff is moving off the field. As I see across the field, Don, it looks like he was holding his leg.
Jim Rourke has come in now at the left tackle spot for Matt Herkenhoff. Rourke is in number 70, so Kansas City hurting in the offensive line.
Ball starts, number 72, offense.
2nd penalty against Dave Lutz. This time he gets called for a jump.
Yes, remember, when you're on that offensive line, you come to a 3-point stance, you cannot move. And you can see the top part of your screen that you moved before the ball was snapped, and that's automatic. You take the 5 yards. You have to take the 5 yards.
That also hurts. It brings up a 3rd down and 6 as the Chiefs go into the shotgun.
Here they come.
Kinney, they got him. 83. The Stork, Ted Hendricks, is playing in his 121st consecutive game. Just nailed Bill Kinney. So the penalty really cost the Chiefs plenty. It cost them the first down.
It certainly did, as you can see. Bill Kinney back to pass. Number 83 is Ted Hendricks. Nobody touched him. This man has made so many big plays over the years. I don't know. He has got 26 interceptions, which has to rank him up there top for a linebacker. He's blocked a lot of kicks over the years.
Arnold back to kick for the 2nd time on his own 25-yard line. That's Pruitt back to single safety. A good booming punt by Arnold. He'll drive Pruitt back to his own 10-yard line. Pruitt bobbles the ball, and that's Albert Lewis who got down on the coverage. Albert Lewis has been just sensational on coverage on kicks on special teams. He flies down the field and almost forced Pruitt to cough up the football. So the Raiders will not put the ball in very good field position. There's our score here in the Coliseum. Tom Flores, who took over as head coach of these Raiders back in 1979, last year when the strike shortened season, led the Raiders to an 8-1 season before they lost to the Jets in the playoffs. And of course, 2 years ago, took them all the way to the Super Bowl championship.
What a nice person he is.
Super guy. Old teammate of yours.
Yes, he is.
1st and 10 at the 10. So Los Angeles in poor field position here, but they give it to Marcus Allen. And Allen charges his way up over the 15-yard line, maybe the 16-yard line. Lloyd Barris is there to make the tackle along with Deron Cherry. Good blocking up front for the Los Angeles Raiders, Len.
I said number 70, Henry Lawrence, and Art Still, number 67, would be a good matchup. That matchup was won by Henry Lawrence. He's really an outstanding offensive tackle. And it's going to be a good matchup all afternoon. That was a good play for the Raiders.
Pickup of 6 will make it 2nd down and 4. This time, Kenny King carries for the first time today, and the Chiefs are all over him. Jerry Blanton, who's doing such a super job calling the defensive signals, leads the tacklers on the play. John Zamberlin at the other inside linebacker spot, Len, but 5th guy to fill that position since Spaney went out with that injury in the final preseason game. But the word is now Gary Spaney might be back next
well,
week.
Hopefully that Gary will. I know he's anxious to play, but how about that position? Some players will be reluctant to play it if 4 other guys went out before you.
5 different guys have gone out on that inside linebacker spot for Kansas City. Boy, it's been a trouble spot. Raiders on the 17-yard line, 3rd down and 3. Here's Marcus Allen, and he's going to be short of the first down. They swarm all over him. So the Raiders staying pretty much on the ground against Kansas City, Len, and Mike Bell is there to lead the tacklers, and teams have been running on the Chiefs. They've been giving up over, 153 yards on defense against the rush. That's a lot.
Yes, they have, and that's probably one of the reasons why Tom Flores and the Raider coaching staff feel that they're going to have to go on the ground, establish that running game against the Chiefs. Cleveland defeating the Jets 10-7 the final. I guess the Browns are back.
Last-second field goal won that. Look at this score.
Is
Green Bay.
Green Bay is hot one week and cold the next.
There you see they're short of the first down, less than a yard, so the Raiders will be forced to kick, and they got the best of the business in Ray Guy to come in and punt. In the game you just saw earlier today on TV5, Washington over St. Louis, 38-14. The Cardinals really struggling.
Yes, they are. They got a lot of problems, a lot of injuries also. And Washington is just getting better and better every week.
Ray Guy averaging almost 44 yards a kick in the punting department. A little over 43, about 43 and a half yards a kick, as long as 67 yards. Anthony Hancock is returning the punts with J.T. Smith still out, although J.T. Smith says he's ready to come back and play now. Hancock, not a punt return man, and really a kickoff return man is his specialty. He'll take it at about his 27. There's Hancock trying to find some running room. Turns it up at the 40, maybe to about the 43-yard line. Pretty decent return by Anthony Hancock, and the Chiefs will put the ball in play with some good field position, their best of the day. Jack Squirick made the tackle for the Los Angeles Raiders. No score here in the first quarter in the Coliseum in L.A. Jack Harry and Gene Fox will be at the desk while I'm Dawson and myself are out here in Los Angeles. Sun is out. Chiefs put it in play. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Kinney throwing, looking deep on first down. Incomplete. He was looking for Carlos Carson deep. Ted Watts was with him step for step. It's incomplete, as you saw.
David Lutz, 72 against Howie Long. He's trying to strangling him. He's already had 2 penalties in the ball game so far, and I said it's going to be a tough match for young David Lutz.
Matt Herkenhoff apparently has a pulled hamstring of some kind.
I noticed that he was holding his leg as he was leaving the field, and they apparently took him into the locker room, and they hopefully will put some heat on it, maybe be able to wrap it, so Matt could possibly come back.
So Bob Simmons is in at right guard, of course, starting for Tom Condon. Now Jim Rourke is in at left tackle for Matt Herkenhoff. So the Chiefs hurting in the offensive line department with injuries. Single setback, 3 wide receivers. They run out of the formation, and they don't get very much. Maybe a couple at the most. Billy Jackson carries. It'll bring up about a 3rd down and a long 8, almost a 3rd and 9. Len, you got to think that Kansas City's got to open up against the Raiders. They looked at the films of that loss last week to the Washington Redskins by the Raiders, in which Theismann threw for 415 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yes, he did. He did a great job, and they're especially good against the running game. The Raiders are. But you have to establish something. You got to get something going on first down. That's really so important. Makes the play calling that much easier on 2nd and 3rd.
3rd down conversion percentage for Kansas City. They're in the shotgun on 3rd and 9. Kinney for Hancock. He's got it. 1st down and more. It's complete at about the Los Angeles 37-yard line. Good catch by Anthony Hancock, and Kinney put it right on the money.
Yes, he did, and he did not have a great deal of time. Bill Kenny had to get rid of the football. Alzado coming up, putting pressure on him. Another defensive lineman putting pressure on him. He just gets the ball away. Good concentration by Anthony Hancock. Gets both feet down in bounds, and a big 1st down for the Chiefs.
So Kinney, who struggled for 4 quarters against Miami and then for 2 quarters against the Cardinals last week before he got it together in the 2nd half, is looking pretty sharp here in this football game. He came into this game with the Chiefs averaging 208 yards passing, and Kinney has hit on 55% of his passes so far this season. Fakes the handoff to Jarrell Thomas on play action, looking for Kenny Thomas coming out of the backfield. It's incomplete. So both Thomases in the backfield that time. His younger brother, a 7th-round pick from San Jose State, was the intended receiver. Hendricks was in there on the coverage. There's John Makovic looking at his play chart right now. Carlos Carson, who made a super catch today, came into this game as the leading receiver, averaging just over 17 yards per catch.
They're in a passing situation right now. That's not necessarily mean they're going to pass, but they have 3 wide receivers in there. You got Marshall, Carson, and Hancock.
2nd down and 10. Chiefs with a shotgun on 2nd down and long. 3 wide receivers. Kinney has good time, throws over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Anthony Hancock. Good coverage on the play. Ted Hendricks was there. As you said, how many times have we seen the Stork make the big play? And what a huge man, 6'7", 225.
No, not 225. I saw him before the game, and he weighs about 250. I said, you bulked up this year, Stork. He said, yep, I'm the biggest one in the linebacker in the National Football League. Detroit, 38-14 over Green Bay. Down, that really surprises me.
Really does. And look at this. Buffalo in overtime now with Miami. The Bills tied that football game with 23 seconds left to go. 3rd down and 10 at the Raider 36-yard line for the 2nd time today. Kansas City deep in Los Angeles territory. Let's see if they come up with something. Complete.
He's in there.
Stephon Page will go all the way. Touchdown. The rookie Stephon Page breaks it all the way for the Kansas City touchdown. You think that kid's that excited?
That's his 2nd reception as a professional, isn't it? Bill Kenny gets this ball off. He's getting a lot of pressure. Alzado's in there. He gets the ball off. A good throw to Stephon Page. And look at that. Lester Hayes knocked his own man off, leaving it clear sailing for Stephon to get into the end zone for a touchdown.
I'll tell you something about Stephon Page. He looked so impressive in preseason, and got to use him a little bit last week in the football game. And as John Makovic said, as we can use him more. The kid's so fluid. He's got a good stride. He's got great hands. You just saw what he did there. Makes a super catch. And there's a Raider player who was shaken up on it. I think it was either Lester Hayes was coming off.
We can see the replay on that, Don. What happened? Lester Hayes ran into the man chasing Stephon Page and knocked him off.
Chiefs draw early blood here. 26 yards. The touchdown play. Kinney to Stephon Page with 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. That is Lester Hayes, who's coming off slowly. Gotta like Page, the way he runs, and his stride, just beautiful stride. He never broke it, made a good catch, good concentration.
The Raiders do not need another injured defensive back. They had 3 of them hurting last week. Van McElroy, Ted Watts last week had a slight concussion. Mike Davis has got a problem now. Lester Hayes is walking off the field.
Mr. Automatic picked Lowry in to attempt the extra point. Kenny will hold. Lowry is yet to miss in this department this season. And it'll be a rare day in the fall when he does miss one on an extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. So the Chiefs lead at 7-0 here with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter on a beautifully executed 26-yard touchdown pass from Bill Kinney to Stephon Page. There's a look at Anthony Hancock on the sideline. Todd Blackledge with the headset on, also talking to Willie Pete, backfield coach. It's a warm, humid day here in Los Angeles. The sun has been in and out, very sultry and very hot down on the field. Lowry kicks off. Hawkins and Pruitt are deep. You get a look at it from the end zone. It's taken by Pruitt. Pruitt, 15, 20-yard line, about the 21 or the 22 before they pull him down. So they'll spot the ball at the 22-yard line for the Los Angeles Raiders. Let's find out what happened to Lester Hayes on that last play, Leonard.
These Raiders are so tough they beat up on one another. Lester is going to run into Mike Davis, number 36. Look at 36 right there. Lester Hayes ran into him. It meant clear sailing for Stephon Page, and he rambles into the end zone for a big touchdown for the Chiefs.
For Bill Kinney, that's only his 4th touchdown pass. The drive, 6 plays, 56 yards in 6 plays. Kinney with a touchdown pass, his 4th of the season. And the Chiefs now have thrown for 7 touchdowns this year. Plunkett throwing. It's complete over the middle. No, it's incomplete. It's dropped by Todd Christensen, the tight end. Plunkett going to his favorite receiver over the middle. There's Lester Hayes. Still wants to know what the heck happened.
He wants to know why Mike Davis is running into him. I said, I'm on your side.
He took a forearm crack on that. Christensen, the top receiver for the Raiders, is the intended receiver on the last play, incomplete, brings up 2nd down and 10 at the 22. Don't forget, next Sunday, the Chiefs are back at Arrowhead for a 3 o'clock game with the Giants. Tickets for that game are available at all Chiefs ticket outlets located throughout the area. Remember, there's a neighborhood ticket outlet near you for the Chiefs-Giants next Sunday afternoon. 2nd down and 10. Plunkett. Plunkett with plenty of time. It's intercepted. Albert Lewis. Again, his 2nd interception of this game and his 3rd of the season. And Leonard, this Albert Lewis is something else.
He's just standing back there. That was a terrible pass by Plunkett. He had a lot of time to get rid of the football, but he threw it right in the stomach of Albert Lewis. Look at that. Really no pressure on Plunkett at all. He steps up, throws the ball. Where does he hit Albert? Right in the stomach. No one around him. It looked like perhaps he was going for number 82, Calvin Muhammad. But not a very good pass by Jim Plunkett.
I tell you, Albert Lewis came out of Grambling, 3rd-round draft pick. As we mentioned earlier, he's been superb on special teams. He's a super cornerback, and it's about a matter of time here before he ends up as the starting cornerback on that right side, because he is just a superb athlete and really a fine player. 8 yards by Lewis on the return, so Kansas City, again, with great field position right here. 1st and 10 at the Raider 37-yard line. Stats on Kinney for the afternoon. Pretty good day. 5 of 9 for 80 yards, and, of course, the touchdown pass to Stephon Page. So to the Chiefs, Leonard, if they can take advantage of this super field position that they've had in the 1st quarter here and can get another point score on the board, they're going to be a tough football team.
That was, I believe, the 14th interception by the Kansas City Chiefs, this being the 6th game. You got to have the instinct to put a team away. When you come up with a big play like that, if you can put that other team away, if you can get back on the board, at least get 3 points, but get something out of that turnover. Now, they're in excellent field position right now. It is demoralizing to both the defense and the offense of the opposition.
Plunkett last week threw for 4 touchdowns. That's his 9th interception of the season, by the way. Threw for 372 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he loses the football game last week as the Redskins took advantage of the Raiders in the last 6 minutes of the game as the Raiders blew a 15-point lead. Now you see Kenny King coming off the field, number 33. So he apparently has also been shaken up. So the Chiefs with 3:36 to go here in the 1st quarter with great field position. Plunkett's 9th interception. 10th interception. Check that. Make it his 10th. 1st and 10, Kansas City. High formation at the Oakland. I did it at the Raider 37-yard line. Makes play action. Kinney over the middle, complete. Theodis Brown out of the backfield. He's got some room. Theodis Brown. Did he get in? No, he took him out at the 1-yard line. Brown almost had a chance to get in the end zone. Beautiful play. Theodis Brown, who joined this football team last week and did a super job running, just catches a 36-yard pass from Bill Kinney. And the Chiefs right now have the Raiders on the run.
There are 2 things on this play. Kenny gets the ball to Theodis Brown. He makes a great move right here. Fake to the outside, go right around. Now, I don't know if we can see it on this replay, but Carlos Carson did a great job. There he is right there, fighting that defensive back Watt, giving Theodis Brown an opportunity to almost get into the end zone. But that's what I'm talking about, a complete ball player, not one who just catches passes, but if you're a wide receiver, once that ball is in the air, you become a blocker. He did a great job on that.
Theodis Brown, who last week rushed for 52 yards, also a good receiver. Here's Brown in the end zone. Touchdown. So the Chiefs jump out with 2 quick touchdowns here on 2 straight possessions. The turnovers making the big difference as Albert Lewis makes a great interception to set up this touchdown. There you see the running stats on Theodis Brown last week. The Chiefs go 37 yards in 2 plays, and Theodis Brown his 2nd touchdown in 2 games. For the Chiefs, their 3rd of the year on the ground, which is a rather low figure, but today we've watched the running game be effective early, and that's got to help set up the passing game, doesn't it?
Don, that touchdown was really important for the Kansas City Chiefs, because what happened, they had a turnover, they capitalized on that turnover, got a touchdown. Now it's going to put them 2 touchdowns ahead of the Raiders, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Raider offense.
Lowry for the extra point. Flags go down as somebody moved on that line. We'll have to wait and see what the call is. Looks like it may be against Kansas City on the left side.
Encroachment, defense. The play does not count.
So we'll do it again. All right, we are live in the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Down fortunate Len Dawson. The Raiders and the Chiefs. The Chiefs, with Nick Lowry about to attempt the extra point, can go up 14-0 with 3:20 to go in the first quarter. Who would have thought this? Raiders came into this game better than a 9-point favorite over Kansas City, but Len, you told us we might see a good football game today, and so far it's been all Kansas City. Kick is good. Chiefs lead it 14-0. They go 37 yards in 2 plays following the interception by Albert Lewis. Well, Leonard, the Raiders got to be wondering what's happening to them. They blew a 15-point lead in the final 6 minutes last week to lose to the Redskins, and I doubt they thought they'd be down by 2 touchdowns with 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter today.
I talked to the Raiders prior to the game. They knew this was a good Kansas City Chiefs football team, and if they needed to get some breaks, put some points in the board. Now here it is. You're taking a look. Beckman in motion, and they're going over the right side. There's no penetration there. Did you see that? No penetration. Lutz did a good job. Billy Jackson did a good job of going into the line, and it made an easy run for Theodis Brown. See number 43 Jackson going in there. Look at there's no penetration. When that happens, Ed Beckman also involved with a good block on that side. They stop the penetration of the Raiders, give the ball to Theodis Brown, and it makes it a lot easier to get into the end zone.
Theodis Brown with both plays on the drive. He catches the 36-yard pass, then he goes over from the 1. Not too bad. I'm
probably saying, well, you ought to put me in more often, Coach. 2 plays, we're in the end zone.
Hey, he's playing in the same stadium where he played his college football at UCLA. Problems of football. He had trouble with the last one. And again, the Raiders will look at terrible field position. They'll put the ball in play at about the 12-yard line. Oh, Pruitt's having trouble fielding these kicks. I don't know whether the sun is causing him problems or what. It's kind of a hazy day and a high sun.
Could be the smog out here, what they call it.
2 plays and 37 yards. 36-yard pass to Theodis Brown, and then a 1-yard run for the touchdown following the interception by Albert Lewis. So the defense setting up the offense, and unlike in the first few games of the season, the offense this time taking advantage of that situation and putting some points on the board.
You know how good that makes the defensive unit feel, that they turn it over to the offense and they put points on the board. Gives them a great look. Look at the hit out there on that one.
Marcus Allen goes nowhere. Why do people try to run against Art Still, number 67? Art Still just nails the Heisman Trophy winner before he even gets to the line of scrimmage.
Well, here you can take a look at it. We said that Still was a good matchup. Nobody touched him. The back was trying to get involved to make a hit on Art Still, and that is a mismatch. He didn't get to him, and Art Still just stuffed Marcus Allen for a couple-of-yard loss.
Loss of a yard, make it almost 2 yards. They'll make it a 2nd down and 12. And again, they give the ball to Marcus Allen. So the Raiders, who have not done much in the passing department, Plunkett's thrown twice, both times incomplete, and he's been intercepted a couple times. Staying on the ground against Kansas City. Mike Bell was in on that tackle, number 99. Look at that statistic. First down here, 6 for Kansas City. The Raiders with none.
Once again, if the defense holds on 3rd down, the offensive unit for the Chiefs should get the ball in pretty good field position. That's the name of this game. You get the ball anywhere near the midfield area, it makes scoring a lot easier, particularly if you have a man like Nick Lowry.
3rd down and 10. Muhammad and Barnwell, the wide receivers for the Raiders. Plunkett over the middle, incomplete, and nearly intercepted again. And would you believe that was Albert Lewis who almost got his hands on it? It was tipped, and Albert Lewis almost grabbed it. So the crowd here in the Coliseum is getting on the Raiders. Plunkett's having a miserable afternoon in the first quarter. There's Albert Lewis, young man who's having a great game, the rookie. And Ray Guy will once more come in to punt for the Raiders.
You know, on that last pass, they didn't get to Plunkett, but they were right in his face, and he had to throw the ball high to get it over the hands of the oncoming rushing defensive lineman. That ball took off on him.
Anthony Hancock back at his own 40-yard line to receive Ray Guy's punt. Guy kicking from the end zone. We've got less than 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. A high snap, but Guy gets off a good kick. What a punter he is. Boy, talk about a high kick. He put that one a mile in the air. Great coverage. Otis McKinney, plenty of time to get downfield as Ray Guy just really hung it up. 47 yards, and Hancock, as you saw, no return.
He did not have a chance. That was great coverage on Otis McKinney's part for the Raiders, because he was fighting 2 men to get away from the line of scrimmage.
17 miles in his career, Ray Guy has kicked for. I never thought to figure it out that way.
Here it is. Number 23, you see coming into the picture right now, a clear shot at Anthony Hancock. Fortunately for Hancock and the Chiefs, he did hold on to the football.
Once more, the Chiefs with good field position. 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 41-yard line. Ed Beckman is the man in motion. 2 wide receivers flanked up top. They give the ball to Billy Jackson.
Fumble.
Jackson loses the football, and the Raiders have it. Lyle Alzado, number 77, the veteran, is the man who recovered it for the Raiders. Alzado, another one of those reclamation projects that Al Davis has become famous for here with the Raiders. And he's the guy that gets the football. Let's see it again, Len.
Millen is in there. The hit is by number 75. That's Howie Long. He makes the hit. The ball is coughed up. 9 of 14 fumbles this season.
And that's got to hurt. This team, the Chiefs, I think, are 2nd in the league in turnovers.
That really hurt. They had things going their way. Now they give new life to the Raiders.
They forced a lot of turnovers, but they've also committed a bunch. Here's Plunkett throwing, going for it all on 1st down. Incomplete. Lloyd Burris is the man who was diving to try to make the interception. So Plunkett right away trying to strike while the iron is hot, thinking maybe he can get something going here after that turnover. Went for it all on 1st down. Nothing doing. Billy Jackson a little upset as he coughed up the football. You know, Lenny, you talk about statistics. This one is incredible. 134 to 7 yards in the 1st quarter. But the Raiders this year, last year they led the NFL in penalties. This year they're only 4th in that department. So they've really improved themselves.
Well, they have. The Chiefs have more penalties than the Raiders so far this year.
I should say they're 4th in the NFL in their penalty edge over their opponents. Hand off this time, Marcus Allen. What a runner. Inside the 40 to about the Kansas City 39-yard line. Deron Cherry was in on the stop. Jerry Blanton was also there, so Marcus Allen finds a little bit of a hole, and he's off and running. First time today that Allen's been able to really do something on the ground. Nice run.
They haven't picked up 1st down yet.
3rd down and 3, still looking for a 1st down. Unbelievable. There you see Allen's stats. 11 touchdowns last season in the shortened season, 697 yards. Pick up a 7 on the last play. It is 3rd down and 3. And the handoff to Marcus Allen. He's got the 1st down. Mike Bell is there, number 99, to make the tackle. So the crowd here, a little bit of a jeer to the Raiders who get their first down with 40 seconds left in the 1st quarter.
Tight end, number 46, Todd Christensen, coming down, making a block, making sure there's no penetration by the defensive line, does an outstanding job. And he's an interesting case because he's been a fullback. He's been a special teams player. They put him at tight end. He was a jack of all trades, and he found his home as a tight end. He's doing an outstanding job.
Plunkett will use a timeout here to come to the sideline and talk things over with Tom Flores. He will stop the clock with 23 seconds left to go here in the 1st quarter. Kansas City out on top by a score of 14-0. Lennox, as you look at a quarterback like Jim Plunkett, of course, he's having a bad day right now. Things aren't going well, but he knows there's lots of time to go. He's going to work himself out of it.
I said he's not a pretty quarterback. I mean, not that he's not good looking. I'm talking about his mechanics. And he's not quick-footed. But the thing is, and he does not throw for a high percentage. But the thing is about Jim Plunkett, he will come up with some big plays. And he's been doing that for the last couple of years. For example, he's not doing too badly with 58% completion percentage, but he's got now 10 interceptions on the year, and that's not good.
Plunkett is also one of the few quarterbacks, I think, left in the National Football League who calls his own plays. There's not very many guys left. You like to call your own plays. Is that the way to do it? Is that the best system, or are all the new systems shuttling like the Chiefs use now, or hand signals on the sideline? What's the best?
I don't know what the best is. I know what I like. I like to call the plays. I like to look at a guy right in the eyes and ask him, can we do this? If he says yes, I said, you got it then.
Raiders with 2 wide receivers up top.
He's going to throw.
Allen throwing, complete. Frank Hawkins, halfback pass. Big 1st down for the Raiders down to the Kansas City 6-yard line. Deron Cherry is there to finally make the stop. And the Raider fans finally have something to cheer for here as Frank Hawkins catches Marcus Allen's pass, the halfback pass. Let's see that one again.
In high school, Marcus Allen was a quarterback. And I think teams should know that because he does have the ability to throw the football. He gets the ball out to Hawkins, and they're in excellent field position right now on the 6-yard line.
Took both Gary Green and Deron Cherry to get him out of bounds. 28-yard gain on the play, so the Raiders coming back quickly here with 15 seconds left to go in the 1st quarter. It is 1st and goal at the Chiefs 6. Handoff. Marcus Allen trying to fly over the line. Gets a couple. He's down inside the 5. And Jerry Blanton in there to make the tackle. Kenny Kramer is also there on the stop. So the Chiefs defense really, Len, under the gun right now. Their work cut out for them to try to stop the Raiders here.
Bear in mind where the Raiders got the football. They got the football in excellent field position. They didn't have to drive 80 yards as this quarter has now come to an end.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. Jim Plunkett and Tom Flores talking it over on the sidelines here. It has been all Kansas City in the first quarter, but the Raiders are coming back. Chiefs lead it right now, 14-0. Unfortunate Len Dawson, we're live in the Los Angeles Coliseum. The Chiefs and the now Los Angeles Raiders, the first 2 times that these teams have ever met in Los Angeles, California. The Chiefs leading right now 14-0. There you see the stats of the first quarter. The Chiefs have certainly dominated the statistics department so far, but the Raiders are threatening. They are now at a 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line. Plunkett is yet to complete a pass. He is 0 for 5 as he tries for number 6. Plunkett rolling out, touchdown. Todd Christensen, the tight end. Thomas Howard was on him on the coverage, but Christensen makes the catch. Plunkett's favorite receiver, and the Raiders get quickly on the board here.
He looks for this man when they get down by the goal line. That's his 4th touchdown reception of the season, and he did an unusual thing. I haven't seen that in a long time. You know, when he got into the end zone, he threw the ball to the official.
Most guys would try to stuff it or...
No, he may be loosening up. He probably said Marcus Allen got the throw. Maybe they'll call my number one of these times.
All right. Chris Barr in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. And the Raiders come back quickly following the turnover. 47 yards in 6 plays. Billy Jackson's fumble sets it up. And the Raiders are right back in the football game here with 14:55 to go in the second quarter. Todd Christensen catches his 4th touchdown pass of the year, his 22nd reception of the season, a 4-yard touchdown pass, and the Raiders come right back in it now. It's 14-7 here in the second quarter. Theodis Brown back to receive the kickoff from Chris Barr. Brown deep in his own end zone will elect to stay there. Deron Cherry says, don't come out. So the Chiefs will put it in play. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Raiders right back in it.
Yes, they are, and that turnover really hurt. We'll take a look at the touchdown from Plunkett. Rolling out to his right, and he's going to throw back against the grain. Number 46 right there, you see him. Todd Christensen, the tight end, is wide open. Second look at it. See, Christensen is blocking on a linebacker, then he releases that linebacker and runs away from him. Finds a little alley there, and Plunkett was watching him all the way and got him the football.
Kansas City will put it in play. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Setbacks, Darrell Thomas and Kenny Thomas right now. The Thomas brothers in the backfield. Kenny, a lot of pressure, gets it out of the screen to Kenny Thomas. Thomas got a 1st down. Going to be pretty close to the 1st down. He may have picked it up. He's up close to the 30-yard line. Nice play.
Good call by John Makovic. You know, after being down and turning the ball over, I'm talking about the Raiders, they finally get in the scoring column. He goes back to pass, and look at those guys fighting to get to the quarterback. Let them come on in. You see all 4 of them in there. Just dumps the ball over to the back, and there's 2 linemen out in front, and they pick up a 1st down. Almost 1st down. Almost
a 1st is going to be just about less than a yard short of it. So it'll be 2nd down in the short yard. Now they've got Theodis Brown as the I back. Billy Jackson is the other back in the Kansas City I formation. So John Makovic doing a lot of substituting with his running back. Here's Theodis Brown, 1st down and a lot more. Theodis Brown gets down to the Raider 39-yard line. Bob Nelson is there to make the tackle for the Los Angeles Raiders. How about this running game, Leonard?
Billy Jackson, that play made that call because he did an outstanding job of blocking in front of this man, Theodis Brown. He went in motion. The ball was pitched back to Theodis Brown, and Billy Jackson got right in the face of that defensive man and stayed with it. Good play.
They'll give him a 1st down. They'll spot it at the 40-yard line. So Theodis Brown now 3 carries for 17 yards. He's 1st and 10, Kansas City at their own 40-yard line. Carlos Carson is the man in motion. Kinney under pressure gets it away incomplete. Boy, he took a shot. Lyle Alzado really popped him, huh?
Well, when they know you're going to throw the football and they're playing just pass, they go after it. I said earlier that David Lutz was going to have his hands full. Number 75, Howie Long, and you can see right there he got him turned and was able to throw him aside. Alzado also in there. Bill Kenny did well just to get rid of the football.
Kenny now is 6 of 11 in the passing department for 125 yards.
On the other side, Jim Rourke is playing that offensive tackle, left tackle position in place of Kirkenhoff.
So he's struggling over there on that left side right now. 2nd down and 10. Handoff, Billy Jackson. Jackson gets maybe a couple and not much more. Jackson may have stumbled as he came out of the blocks there, Leonard.
Well, no, he got hit by number 74, Archie Reese, the defensive lineman, who got some penetration and got his hand on his ankle, and he tripped because Archie was grabbing on it.
I will give him maybe 2. We'll make it 3rd down and 8. So Kansas City here with a big 3rd down play. The momentum in this football game, if you want to call it that, has swung to the Raiders, who got quickly on the scoreboard for their first touchdown. It is 14-7. There's 12:40 to go in the first half. Chiefs on 3rd and long in the shotgun.
They could be coming after it.
Hancock in motion.
Here they come.
Raiders are coming. Kenny reads it, throws it over the middle, bobbled, incomplete. Looking for Kenny Thomas again, coming out of the backfield, number 35. It is incomplete. Rod Martin was there, the right outside linebacker, number 53. So Jim Arnold is in the kick now for Kansas City. Arnold is 3rd punt of the day. He'll kick from about his own 27, 28-yard line, and Greg Pruitt, who's just a superb kick return man, is back to receive this one. He'll stand at his own 20. Arnold, nice high kick. Look where Pruitt has got to go back to his own 5-yard line. Pruitt stays in bounds. Finally forced him out at about the 15, maybe the 16-yard line. So good coverage on the kick and a nice high kick by Jim Arnold. And we will take a break. 12:18 to go, first half, and the Chiefs lead it 14-7. That was a 52-yard kick for Jim Arnold.
When did you start?
There's a look at Lyle Alzado. Brown said he was all through, Len. They keep coming over here to the Raiders, and Al Davis just kind of turns them back into good football players again. Did it with Matuzak. Now he's got Alzado over here.
You know, he didn't look very nice. He's really a nice person, except when he's out there.
Former 101 winner of the 101 banquet for the Defensive Player of the Year in the AFC, and what an emotional speech. I'll never forget the speech that he gave when he accepted that. Hawkins was the ball carrier on the last play. Charlie Jackson's in on the play.
Not much there, and the reason being is they didn't get a whole lot of movement on Kansas City's nose tackle, Ken Kramer. He gets involved in the play. When that nose tackle can get involved in the play, get penetration, and it's really going to foul up the running game.
They pick up about 3 yards on that play. We'll make it a 2nd down and 7 at the 19. Plunkett back to throw. Plunkett over the middle. It's complete. Marcus Allen over the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Remember, we talk about Marcus Allen being a super running back, but he's also a darn good receiver.
Yes, he is. He does so many things. First of all, you have to have time to pass. Here it is. You're taking a look at up front, double teaming on Ken Kramer. They're making sure that you don't get penetration up the middle because that's where he wants to throw the football. See what I'm talking about? Now watch the move that number 32, Marcus Allen, puts on the linebacker. And they're a little juke right there to pick up about 4 or 5 more yards.
12-yard gain on the play. First down, Raiders at the 32. Plunkett again, back to throw on first down. Plunkett steps up, and he overshoots his receiver. It's intercepted. Deron Cherry. There's a penalty marker down. Deron Cherry still on his feet to about the Raider 34-yard line. So Plunkett gets intercepted again. His 3rd time today. Deron Cherry picks it off. Remember, he had 2 interceptions last week. He has 5 on the season. They both set up touchdowns. But the holding call on the penalty is going to go against Kansas City.
And I'll bet you it was away from the pass because it was thrown way on the other side of the field. Deron Cherry caught it near this sideline.
Holding number 52, defense.
Defensive holding on Thomas Howard, so it'll be an automatic first down for the Raiders. Tough break because Deron Cherry was alertly there to make that.
And you can see it was a bad throw by Plunkett. He just overthrew his receiver. Deron Cherry was just playing back in his zone, following the ball all the way, and came up with the interception.
First and 10, Raiders at the 37-yard line. 10:50 to go, first half. It's 14-7 Kansas City. In case you just joined us, that's Malcolm Barnwell in motion. They pitch the ball back to Allen. Allen up to the 39, maybe the 40-yard line before he is tackled.
He's so fluid when he runs, and he has the ability to cut back against the grain. Here you're taking a look at the big bulls up in the line. 91 is Ken Kramer. He gets knocked to his feet, doesn't quit though, gets back and gets involved in the tackles. Good play.
Spotted at the 40, make it a 2nd down and 7, a gain of 3. Chiefs have been penalized in this football game now 4 times for 25 yards. That last penalty really hurt because they would have had great field position on that. Hand off this time to Frank Hawkins, who's in the backfield now in place of Kenny King, who went out shaken up earlier. And he is stopped by the front 3 up there. Art Still, Kramer, and Bell are all in on the tackle. Art Still, they keep trying to run against.
Yes, there he is. You're taking a look at Art now. Not a bad block, but you're not pushing him out of the way. You're not pushing Art Still back, and he just threw Lawrence out of the way and made the tackle.
Isn't he unbelievable how he just gets in there to make the stop?
His quickness is what is so great, because on that not that play, but the play before, he was so quick that he overran Marcus Allen. That's why Marcus had to cut back.
All right, no gain on the play. As you saw, it is now 3rd down and 6. Make it a long 6, almost 3rd and 7. Ball is on the 40. Plunkett steps up. Plunkett's going to run with it. He can run for the 1st down. He's got it. Plunkett gets the 1st down and wisely goes down. Lucius Smith was there on top of him. So Plunkett alertly picks up the 1st down for the Raiders.
I said he wasn't very pretty. What he does, but he did what he had to do. Now he's getting beat right up the middle. The 67 Art Still is there. He's sidestepping players, and he sees there's an opening here, and he knows how far he has to go. But he made a very good move of getting down there because Lucius Smith is about to take his head off. That's a 9-yard run by Plunkett. By the way, that touchdown pass for Plunkett was his 130th as a pro. All right, 9-yard run by Plunkett. 1st and 10, 48-yard line, the Los Angeles Raiders. Plunkett fakes play action, has time to throw, and he's going deep. Burris is there. Barnwell is broken up. Good coverage. Deron Cherry. And Lloyd Burris, who was intended for Calvin Muhammad. They had double coverage on Muhammad. I'd say it was a good play by Muhammad not to have the ball intercepted because Burris was looking at it all the way. He was back there following the ball all the way. So the Buffalo Bills, Leonard, win for the 1st time in the Orange Bowl in Miami in, I think, 100 years. I don't know if they've ever beaten Miami in the Orange Bowl in how long? Well, have they ever beaten them? I don't think they ever have. Baltimore, they're for real.
They got to be.
Defeating New England 12-7.
Final score, New Orleans wins again. They beat Atlanta 19-17. 2nd down and 10 at the 48-yard line. Plunkett, handoff. Frank Hawkins on the ground. Kansas City been playing the running game relatively well today, considering teams have been able to run against this ball club. They've been playing very well defensively. Really have. Chiefs have been giving up.
Except for one big play, Marcus Allen throwing the halfback option. That was a big play for the Raiders.
Now, the defense last week had 5 interceptions. They picked off a couple here today. They held the Cardinals last week to only 71 yards passing. 3rd down and 5. There you see the 3rd down conversions, 50%. That's acceptable, I would say. 3rd down and 5. Here they come. Plunkett gets it away. That's incomplete. He was out of bounds. Todd Christensen, the tight end, one of their favorite patterns, crossing over the middle. He was out of bounds. It's incomplete. So the defense holds again here for Kansas City. They've been tough to pass on this Chiefs team. They've given up only 155 yards passing so far per game on an average. And most importantly, Len, they're not giving up a lot of points. They're averaging just 17 points per game is all they're giving up. And you can do that week in and week out. You're going to be doing the job.
I don't think anybody would question the ability of the Chiefs defensive unit. I mean, for the last several years, they've been playing extremely well. They're capable of competing against anybody. And every team that you talk to that has to play the Chiefs, they'll say, hey, their defense is really solid. It's really good, and we're concerned about it.
Ray Guy back to kick. Gets it away. Now watch this one go into the end zone for the touchback. So the Chiefs will put it in play. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line with 7:36 to go in the 1st half. Ray Guy gets off another great kick. What a punter he is. That one was 48 yards, and he's muttering something about it. I guess he wanted to get it in the corner out of bounds. John Makovic on the sidelines in front of the Chiefs bench looking over his offensive play chart. He's got to be happy right now with what he's seen so far from the offense. Kenny having a pretty good day, and the offense taking advantage of some of the breaks and turnovers that the defense has been getting for them. Carlos Carson in motion, and Henry Marshall goes up out of your picture. Setbacks right now. Billy Jackson and Jarrell Thomas on first down. Kenny throws. Anthony Hancock up to about the 25-yard line before he is wrestled down by Lester Hayes. So Lester Hayes, who was shaken up earlier in the game, is apparently okay because he does a job here on Anthony Hancock.
Raiders like to play a lot of man-to-man defense on first down when it's first and 10 situation. And that's a good opportunity to get out there and pick up that 5 yards or 6 yards. Get you in a 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 4 situation, makes the play calling a lot more easier.
Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Carlos Carson up top out of your picture, and Marshall flanked down low. Pitch out. Theodis Brown will try the other side now. Gets a block from Kinney. Had Rourke out in front, but Rod Martin knifed in there to make the tackle, but not before he's got the first down. Nice run by Theodis Brown.
I was looking at Bill Kinney. You know, I said, why are you circling back this way? How much help do you think you're going to get from me? I don't practice blocking, but Bill did a good job getting out in front. That was a good job by Theodis Brown reversing his field because Billy Jackson was trying to get a block, and his man got penetration and made Theodis Brown reverse his field.
Leonard used to live in terror for those backs coming back the other way, so you'd have to block, right?
Oh, I tell them they're on their own.
Ball on the 33-yard line. It is 1st and 10, Kansas City. Theodis Brown picks up the first down. Chiefs fake play action, then throw complete. Henry Marshall. Henry Marshall to about the 47-yard line. Ted Watts is there to make the tackle, and the Chiefs pick up another first down.
Well, we'll take a look at that play. Man-to-man coverage, number 89, Henry Marshall. And you can see the defensive back is looking into the backfield. That means he is playing Henry very strong to the inside and giving him the outside. And so Henry took the outside, picked up the pass, picked up the first down.
Chiefs mixing up their offense very well, Len. You got to be impressed. They're running the ball well, and Kenny's having a good afternoon passing. He's 8 of 14 for 144 yards and a touchdown. Kenny on a little delay to Billy Jackson. There are penalty flags down, whistles all over the place. We'll see what the call is. Looks like somebody may have moved false start against the Chiefs. That's what it is. That will hurt. Those are the kind of penalties you don't want to get. You got something going, you picked up a couple of quick first downs, and then suddenly you get a penalty. That hurts.
Yeah, it's your own mistakes. I mean, you're putting yourself in the hole.
False start, number 72, offense, first down.
David Lutz having a tough job with Howie Long. That's twice now he's got called on false starts.
They may think about giving David Lutz some help over there on Howie Long, just to help build up his confidence.
One of the things I think that's hurting him is that Tom Condon's out of the lineup. I say that because he and Condon communicated so well. You notice Condon always talking to Lutz during the football game when they come out of the huddle, reminding him of things and helping him out. He's out of the game, injured with Simmons playing. First down at 15 now. Kinney can't find anybody open. Kinney to about the 45-yard line. Lenny, that's got to be a flag. Davis hit him out of bounds.
It'll cost him 15 yards.
Willie Scott let Davis know about it, too. That, folks, is a cheap shot by Mike Davis out of Colorado. Davis just popped Kinney out of bounds. Let's see that one again. Hendricks is telling him it's okay, but it's really not okay.
Well, you can't tell me that the defensive people do not know where the out-of-bounds stripe is. You know, they're looking at it just like the offensive man. Now, Bill's getting as much as he can. Good block there. He's out of bounds.
He must have been...
Mike Davis do that.
Sure he did. He was 2 yards out of bounds before Davis even put his head down to go after him.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 36, defense, late hit out of bounds, first down.
All right, 1st and 10, Kansas City at the 40-yard line. There you see the penalties. Kansas City's been hurt in the penalty department. They just picked up their 5th on the play prior to this. That one is good for Kansas City. Obviously puts the pressure even more so now on the Raider defense. The Chiefs with 5:51 to go, leading by a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Henry Marshall's flanked up top in the slot. Single setback. Kinney throws complete.
Good throw by Bill Kenny.
On the money.
Yes, it was. That was an excellent throw. Good velocity on that ball, and he put it right in his stomach. Here it is rolling out to his left, getting set up, and he's going to fire this ball. He's looking at those linebackers and throws it right in between the linebacker and the defensive back.
Carlos Carson makes the catch, continues to do the job for this team. He's averaging over 17 yards a catch. That's among the leaders in the AFC. And the Chiefs right now on the move. A touchdown here would look awfully big. There's some stats on Carlos, who's turned into this team's top receiver. First down at the 22. Not much that time. Carson gets back up to the line of scrimmage. Howie Long read the play all the way and makes the tackle.
Well, I'll tell you, they were coming after the Chiefs on that. That was a quick screen. But you can't have a defensive back playing up tight like number 37, Lester Hayes, does. You can see coming in your screen now, David Lutz coming in to try to make the block, but Lester Hayes was already up there. Howie Long getting out and mopping up on the play.
No gain on the play. Ball still at the 22. Second down and 10.
Play like that, you want a defensive back to be playing soft, playing off about 8 or 10 yards.
Not a bad afternoon for Bill Kenny. 163 yards now. One touchdown.
Better get rid of it.
Kenny gets rid of it quickly. Looking to getting the tight end, Willie Scott. He read the blitz on coming. Had Scott open over the middle, but Scott doesn't get a whole lot. Gets up to the 20, maybe picks up 2 yards on the play.
Well, I'll tell you, he got rid of the ball in a hurry because they had the all-out blitz coming in against Bill Kenny on that play. Defensive back was coming after him also. Ted Hendricks coming in. He just gets rid of the football. What he did, he saved. Now, you can see right here Matt Millen coming after him as a linebacker. They were trying to sack him back there because they know the Chiefs have Nick Lowry, and that's definitely in his range.
Third down and 8. Chiefs with a shotgun formation. Kenny. Flag is down. You saw somebody move right there. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for Stephon Page, who's caught a touchdown pass this afternoon. This one looks like it's going to go against the Raiders. Looked like somebody on the defense jumped. That's exactly what it was.
It's too bad Bill didn't have a split second longer because Stephon Page was open out there. But Bill was just getting rid of the football to avoid a loss. He did not know whether it was his people or the defense that jumped offside.
Offside, number 77, defense, third down.
All right, Lyle Alzato's the man who jumped. So the Chiefs will get the down over again. It'll be third down at about 3. The ball is at the Los Angeles Raiders 15-yard line. 3 penalties for the Raiders now in the game for 25 yards. 2 of them very costly here, especially if the Chiefs convert this first down. Setback, Theodis Brown and Billy Jackson. Carlos Carson in the slot. Now he's in motion. Kenny gets away. Still gets away. I don't know, Len. He's close to the first down. He's going to be a little bit short of it, maybe.
He's short of the first down.
Very close, but he's not going to quite make it. So Kenny scrambling for the first down doesn't make it as Matt Millen makes the tackle. That'll bring in Nick Lowry to attempt a field goal.
A lot of pressure on Bill that time. I mean, he wisely got back toward the line of scrimmage and not try to go backwards and try to avoid somebody because he's in the field goal range of Nick Lowry, and you don't want to lose any yardage when you go back there to throw the football.
Lowry 8 of 9 in the field goal department, had only 1 miss, and that was from over 40 yards. They will spot this one at, let's make it the 22-yard line, so we'll make it a 32-yard field goal attempt. Stats on Nick the kick, Mr. Automatic. Best placed kicker in the AFC.
High snap.
He gets it in there. Good. The holders, right, Len?
Oh, I'll tell you, that was a good hold. That was a high snap to Bill Kenny, but he came up with it, got it down. Nick Lowry made the kick, and they now lead by 10.
Chiefs held the football for almost 5 minutes on that last drive. You see the time remaining here in the first half. Just 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Kansas City now leading by 10, 17-7 as Nick Lowry kicks off. The unfortunate Len Dawson in the Coliseum in L.A. And nice to have you with us. This is Clay Montgomery. Montgomery up over the 20, maybe the 22-yard line before Albert Lewis is there to make the stop, number 29. Albert Lewis just superb on special coverage and kick coverage. He's incredible.
He does a great job. He's been doing a great job, particularly, I think, the last 3 weeks.
And now you see Ed Beckman, who's another super player on those special teams, and kick coverage is down on the play. Beckman, number 85. I'll give me a chance to remind you the Giants, of course, will be at Arrowhead Stadium, one of their rare appearances in Kansas City. Next Sunday afternoon, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff as the Chiefs come back home. Single game tickets available throughout the area for this game as well as all of the Chiefs home games. Don't forget the Chiefs charge ticket phone, or also stop by your neighborhood ticket outlets located throughout the region. Chiefs and the Giants coming up at Arrowhead next Sunday afternoon at 3. Ed Beckman is down on the play. They're tending to Beckman right now. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but see what the problem is. This has not been a good afternoon for that man, number 16, Jim Plunkett. 2 of 9, but he has thrown for a touchdown.
Well, he had another interception also that was called back because of the Chiefs holding on defense. I don't know if people realize, you know, how tough playing on special teams are, particularly the kickoff team, whether you're receiving the kickoff or going down under it, because it's bedlam out there. I mean, you just sacrifice your body.
Well, Beckman's had bad ribs, too. He's wearing a flak jacket. A couple weeks ago in Miami, he got some really badly bruised ribs, but as you see, he's off under his own power.
You were talking about the Giants?
Yep.
Coming to Kansas City next week. Philadelphia leading them 7-6. Oh, what's this?
Well, Dallas always is losing early.
10-7 at Tampa Bay. And Seattle, 14-0 over San Diego second quarter score. It's some strange games played today in the National Football League.
Dallas Cowboys are like the White Sox. I guess they win ugly. They keep coming from behind. 2:34 to go in the first half. Plunkett going deep. He was looking for Marcus Allen on the play. It was incomplete and almost picked off again.
Well, they had Lucius Smith there. Also, Deron Cherry was right over there also. If the ball hadn't been thrown out of bounds, Deron Cherry was in an excellent position to come up with another interception.
Jim Plunkett struggling here in the sunshine, which is out now brightly here in Southern California. Marcus Allen coming back to the huddle. And as you mentioned, Allen not only a great runner, but a good receiver. And when he's in there, their offense is even that much more varied. Now, remember, here's a team that's playing without Cliff Branch. He got hurt last week after he caught a 99-yard touchdown pass, but they still got great wide receivers, and they still got Marcus Allen to throw to. But so far, Plunkett's having trouble delivering the football. This time, Allen incomplete again. Maybe just a little bit high for Allen. Plunkett just seems to be a little off the mark, Clint.
Well, it was not a bad throw, but it wasn't a good throw. Had it been a good throw, then he would have been on the money. And what happened was Marcus got his hands on it. As soon as he got his hands on the ball, he was knocked by Charles Jackson.
And they call a personal foul on the play, too, I believe. There's a marker down. You see the referee now walking it off. Personal foul will be against Kansas City. So that's as good as a reception. Here's the referee.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 74, defense, a head slap, first down.
Dino Mangiaro's the guy who gets called for it. That's away from the play.
Well, that's
away
right.
from the ball.
Didn't have a whole lot to do with it, but they outlawed that a couple of years ago in the National Football League. That used to be the first move of a good defensive lineman to rack that offensive lineman alongside the head.
6th penalty for Kansas City. 6 penalties for 45 yards. Plunkett this time gets it to Allen, who's wide open. Allen close to midfield before Mike Bell finally falls on him. Deron Cherry is also in there on the tackle. Boy, Allen was just wide open on that play.
He was, and did you notice how he ran with that football? And I think he got as much yardage as he possibly could. The way he moved around there, finally went forward, picking up a couple of extra yards. That was good enough, I believe, to pick up the first down.
Pick up the first down and more. It's a gain of 13 on the play. All right, the 2-minute warning here in Los Angeles. 2 minutes left to go in the first half of the Chiefs are on top of the LA Raiders by 10. 2 minutes left to go, first half. Don Fortune and Len Dawson at the Coliseum.
All right. The twos are getting ready for his next part.
Down with Tusac. There's Plunkett throwing on first down. It's complete. Todd Christensen, the tight end. Penalty marker goes down on the play. Christensen, you see him trying to get the ball out of bounds to stop the clock. They do stop the clock. Burris made the tackle, number 34, and there's a flag down on the play. The gain is of 28 yards on the pass play. Let's see what the call is. Looks like it's going to go against the Raiders, according to the way the Chiefs players are signaling. It is. Whoa. Lenny, as you were mentioning during the commercial break, it's important here to keep the Raiders off the board.
For Kansas City, yes. You know, and if they can hold them here with 2 minutes to go now, it's 1:49 remaining in the first half. To keep them off the board and win with a 10-point lead, knowing that defense is still solid and strong and capable of containing a well-balanced Offensive
Pass
attack.
interference, number 80, offense, first down.
They call pass interference on number 80, Malcolm Barnwell. So that is a costly penalty. Offensive pass interference against Barnwell of the Raiders. Will put the ball back on the 40-yard line. It will be a first down and 20. Penalties now beginning to catch up with the Raiders in terms of yardage. Both of these clubs have been getting some costly penalties here in the second quarter. Raiders with two wide receivers up top, Malcolm Barnwell and Calvin Muhammad. First down and 20. Complete. Marcus Allen out of the backfield. Allen's up over the 46, maybe the 48-yard line. Maybe the 47. They'll set it down right there. Raiders going now without a huddle. Clock is running. They're in their 2-minute offense. Clock is running with 1:30 to go in the first half. Chiefs trying to hang out of this 10-point lead. Plunkett can't find anybody open. He'll try to run for the first down. He won't make it. They'll nail him at about the Kansas City 46-yard line. Now the Raiders will have to use a timeout.
Do you remember they took one earlier in this first half, so they have just one timeout remaining.
Plunkett will come to the sideline. Stops the clock here now. Ball is on the Kansas City 46-yard line. So Plunkett will be looking at a third down and about 6.
I'm a little surprised that Plunkett took off, ran the ball there. I mean, he had time that he could have bought some time and see if perhaps he couldn't find the receiver.
Interesting story on Plunkett too, because in the preseason they say that Mark Wilson, who plays behind him, really outplayed him in preseason, and yet when it was time to start the season, Flores goes back to Plunkett.
Well, he said this is the man that has taken us there, taken us all the way to the Super Bowl, and we won it, and we're going to give him a shot, give him the first shot.
Raiders on third down conversion, almost 35% in that department. Right now they're looking at a third down and 6 at the Kansas City 46-yard line. 1:17 to go in the first half. In case you just joined us, it is the Chiefs 17 and the Raiders 7.
They have to make a first down here because I don't think they'd go for it on fourth down.
Muhammad is in motion.
Mike Bell.
He's got him. Mike Bell, his 4th sack of the season. He leads the Chiefs in this department, and he ran right over the left tackle, Bruce Davis.
Oh, he used his great speed and quickness to go right around number 79, Bruce Davis. Here it is. You see, you're looking right at it. Here he is coming right around. He pushes him with that quickness and the leg strength to keep on driving, and he nails him. For a big loss, they're going to have to punt the ball away now. I'm surprised Kansas City didn't take time out.
58 seconds left and the clock is running. The Chiefs do not stop the clock. They send Anthony Hancock back along with Deron Cherry to receive the kick. Ray Guy, of course, will not hurry with that clock running.
Well, he should take all the time. He should take, take a 5-yard penalty. What does he care?
That's exactly what he's going to do. There you see the whistle. 30 seconds for delay of game against the Raiders, so they'll mark off 5 more yards. The clock is now stopped with 37 seconds to go.
That'll help his average anyway if he gets a hold of one. Put it in the end zone. 37 seconds remaining. Kansas City with a 10-point lead. Didn't want to risk taking any. They didn't want to take a chance. I'm sure that John Makovic didn't want to take a chance if they got the ball back of a turnover.
Well, of course, also he knows that guy is asleep.
That's the story. You know that he doesn't get too concerned this early in the game. 21-0, Seattle over San Diego.
Hey, Chuck Knox is doing a great job with Seattle. And what's wrong with the Chargers? No defense, huh?
Look at that. They're not even going to feel it.
Kansas City will let the Raiders try to down it, and they do. Raiders will down the football on their own 2-yard line. That's Otis McKinney, who got downfield. The Chiefs willing to go to the locker room with a 10-point lead. Now you got to protect the ball, though, Len, deep in your own territory. You can't afford a fumble now. You're on your own 2-yard line.
Look at this. Now, this is natural turf here at the Coliseum. If that had been the synthetic turf, that probably would have bounced up and taken off and gone into the end zone.
Chiefs now will put it in play with 27 seconds to go. 1st and 10 at about their own 2-yard line.
What do you think they're going to do?
We're going to stay on the ground. McKinney's going to cover up on it.
That's right.
Let me ask you a question right here. Do you think maybe there should be a rule in football that says you have to advance the ball forward rather than just let the quarterback cover up on it?
Well, I think he better go forward because he's on about the 1 or 2-yard line. Just take that snap and fall forward. This is what he did.
Clock will run out here now.
That's a situation down if you're the quarterback that then you want substitutions by your coach to bring somebody else in. The designated faller down on the ball.
Well, the clock will run out here. Raiders have one timeout left, but it'd be futile really to use it, so they will not. The Chiefs will be content to walk off with a 10-point lead. Interesting first quarter for Kansas City. 2 touchdowns. Leotis Brown ran for 1. Stephon Page caught a 26-yard touchdown pass. Chiefs 17 and the Raiders 7 at the half. Len Dawson and I will return to the Coliseum in Los Angeles in just a moment. Jim Plunkett has not had a good afternoon, as you just saw in those highlights. He's been picked off a couple of times. He was actually picked off a 3rd time for an interception, but the play was called back because of a penalty. Statistics in this game tell a lot, Lenny, particularly that passing stat.
Oh, you look at the total yardage, 190 to 103, but 147 to 55. Bear in mind, the Raiders are a big play type of football team. Last week, Cliff Branch reception of a 99-yard touchdown reception, so they can hit you in a hurry.
Kansas City has only rushed for 43 yards. That may not seem like a lot, but it's been some effective running and some key plays that really has kept their offense balanced and kept that Raider defense off balance as well, with some good effective running when they had to. All right, the Chiefs will kick off to start the second half. 2 men back to receive. Clay Montgomery and Greg Pruitt for the Raiders. This is Montgomery. Montgomery gets up to about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line before he is stopped. Plunkett was 4 of 12 for 34 yards. There was one pass play, a big pass play, too. The biggest pass play of the half, besides Plunkett's touchdown, was the pass by Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen, yes, that got them in position to score a touchdown.
All right, you see stats on Plunkett. Not a very good first half for him, but as Len mentioned, the Raiders can and do strike rather quickly and rather explosively, mainly because they got some great receivers. They do not have Cliff Branch playing today. In case you're wondering where Branch is, he was hurt in that game in Washington where they lost for the first time this season. He was hurt on a 99-yard touchdown pass. He tore a hamstring, so he's out today. But you've still got Barnwell and Muhammad and Montgomery, so they're tough. Here's Marcus Allen. Oh, Marcus Allen slipped through a nice hole. Big run by Allen, first down. Gets up to about the 37-yard line. And they've also got that guy to throw to, Marcus Allen. So they've still got the receivers.
Well, they've held him in check pretty well, except for his pass. But now he finds a seam. And this is an outstanding runner. Last year he proved that his 4 years at USC was not a fluke, that he could play in pro football. And he is really an exciting football player, and he can do so many things for that offense.
Heisman Trophy winner, playing in the stadium where he won that Heisman while playing for Southern California. Plunkett on first down, drills it complete. That's Marcus Allen. Allen to about the 45-yard line. Nice pickup on the play. And Plunkett throwing the ball right on the money that time, Leonard.
Well, for Kansas City, they've got to put a halt to this movement by the Raiders right now, because you do not want to give a Raider football team any life. When they're down, you want to put them away.
Gain of 7 on the play will make it 2nd down and 3. There's Marcus Allen, interesting, only rookie to start in last year's Pro Bowl, and he's been a good one. Plunkett again on first down, incomplete this time. He was looking for Calvin Muhammad, who was coming across the middle. And again, just a little bit high, Larry.
Muhammad was open. Just threw it up over his head. I see a yellow flag on the field, and that generally indicates holding on the offense.
Looks like we'll get a holding call.
You can always tell the way that the offensive players walk around back to the huddle, whether they were guilty or not.
They come back rather slowly.
Yes, with their head down, looking down at the turf, you know that they've been caught. Somebody's been caught.
Holding, number 79, offense, 2nd down.
All right, Jerry Markbright says that the guy caught was number 79, the left tackle, Bruce Davis. He's had some problems today having to handle Mike Bell. We talk about Lutz having his problems with Howie Long, but Mike Bell is no piece of cake out there for Davis.
No, he came up with a big play just before the half when he sacked Plunkett, and then he hopes for a drive and scoring any points by the Raiders.
It'll be a 10-yard penalty. It'll bring up 2nd down and 13 at the 35. They stay on the ground. Marcus Allen up over the 40, about the 42-yard line before he is knocked down.
We've got a chief. I can't see his number, a defensive player. I don't know which one it is that was shaken up on that play a little bit. It might have been Albert Lewis.
Albert Lewis.
Yes, he's leaving now.
Albert Lewis is coming out right now.
Now he's coming back.
Came back in. May have been not Lucius Smith. He's still out there, so we'll just have to wait and see. Could have been Gary Green. Third down and 6.
Blitz is on. The blitz is on. Good play by Plunkett.
It's complete. Clay Montgomery, first down, Los Angeles. Nice throw by Plunkett, who gets Clay Montgomery coming across the middle.
The blitz was on. Jim Plunkett, as you can see. Look at him. Here they come. Deron Cherry, the free safety, is even going. He gets rid of that ball just in time, and it's an excellent throw because he was well covered by Lucius Smith. Good play by Jim Plunkett. He's been throwing some bad balls, but that one was an excellent throw.
Lucius Smith makes the tackle on the play. It is a 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 45-yard line. So the Los Angeles Raiders come out strong here to start the second half. Marcus Allen carries this time. Thomas Howard is in there on the tackle. And Giro's also in on the stop. Number 74, he led the tacklers. Allen now 13 carries for 45 yards.
When the Raiders get down at halftime, the second half when they come out, they go right back to basics and fundamental things. They really don't get fancy because they say, we're a type of team that we like to intimidate other clubs. We're a physical team. Let's go back to doing what we do best.
Second down and a long 6 yards for the Raiders. What is it that Al Davis always says on offense? We don't take what the defense gives us, but what we want. That's overthrown. Intended for Calvin Muhammad. It's incomplete. There's a penalty flag down on the far side of the field. We'll have to wait to see what the call is. Most teams, Davis says, will say we take what the defense gives us. But the Raiders, he said, we take what we want. That looks good in ink, but I don't know how true it really is.
The Raiders have been known to do things their own way.
Another costly penalty here coming up against Kansas City. Looks like defensive holding. Here's Jerry Markbright, the referee.
Holding number 52, defense, automatic first down.
Thomas Howard gets called. That's an automatic first down.
We've got to take a look at here now. Here's Dave Dalby, a fine center. Now he's handling Dino Mangiero, but when he rolls off of him, there's another man, Charlie Hanna, the guard, to pick him up. That position of nose tackle is tough. It is tough.
That gave the Raiders their 11th first down. They're now even in that department at 11 each for both clubs. Calvin Muhammad was wide open, and Plunkett just flat out overthrew him.
He really did. He's been throwing high. He had time to throw, and he had a back stay in to help with Art Still. Art Still was putting pressure on the quarterback. Take a look at that. Here it is, number 67, the top of your screen. Here he is. Now, number 32 is Marcus Allen. We said he's an outstanding player.
There's a penalty.
Yeah.
There's a penalty on this play, Len. It's a personal foul against Kansas City.
Number 74, defense, first down.
Mangiero gets called again. This time they call him for roughing the passer. That brings up another automatic first down at the 21-yard line.
Right. He got called for head slapping earlier. Now it is. Plunkett gets it off.
Good call.
Yes, it was. Why do that?
Definitely late. That's as bad as the late hit on Kinney.
And you cannot go up top, up around somebody's head.
Kansas City now 8 penalties for what, 60 yards? 65 yards. That's a costly penalty. Here's Marcus Allen going to throw again. In the end zone, touchdown. Doki Williams, a rookie from UCLA, just caught Marcus Allen's pass for a touchdown. 21-yard touchdown pass. Marcus Allen to Doki Williams. Well, Plunkett hasn't been throwing very well today, so they let Marcus Allen throw the football. He laid it right in there.
Gary Green looked like he had him well covered, but the ball was thrown behind him. Gary could not see the football, but Doki could and came up with the catch and another touchdown for the Los Angeles Raiders. And here again, Marcus Allen showing what he can do. So many things. We saw him block. We've seen him throw 2 passes. He's an exceptional receiver, and he also is an outstanding running back.
Well, it was all Marcus Allen on that drive, and also all Chiefs penalties that really cost them. That kept the Raiders' drive alive. The extra point attempt is good. It is now Kansas City 17. Raiders 14. Well, it's a different ball game here in the second half. The Raiders score early. Dokie Williams, the Raiders, for a 75-yard drive. And it's a different situation now. Marcus Allen, by the way, in the passing department is perfect. 2 of 2 for 49 yards and a touchdown. Barr kicks off. This is Theotis. Got a hole. He's got some room. Theotis over the 40. Oh, nice run by Theotis Brown. Good return by Theotis Brown on the kickoff. Gives the Chiefs excellent field position. He returned that kick 47 yards.
Marcus Allen, the passer. Here it is, a pitch out. He's running to his right. He's going to stop and throw back, and he really takes a shot from the linebacker on the play as he gets rid of the football right there. He really takes a hit. Dokie Williams is there for the reception. Big play for the Raiders.
Dokie Williams from UCLA and Marcus Allen from Southern California. Both of them played their college football in the stadium. Now they're teammates, and they break the Chiefs back right there with a big touchdown. Kinney comes right back throwing on first down. He had Carlos Carson open, but Kinney really took a shot on the play. He was going down as he let that one get away, Len.
Safety blitz coming in. That was Mike Davis that hit him. Here it is, 6 plays, 75 yards, 3:45 it took. And it was an Allen to Williams pass, 21 yards. UCLA and USC. I didn't think that they would speak to one another. I guess when you're on the Raiders, it's okay.
Aren't you playing for money? It's a little different, huh? Second down. And 10 at the Kansas City 41-yard line. Single setback is Billy Jackson. Chiefs with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. A pitch out to Billy Jackson. Jackson has run pretty well today. Doesn't get much room that time as he tries to turn the corner. Otis McKinney comes up to force on the play and makes the stop. That Miami-Buffalo game you and I were talking about earlier, I understand Ferguson threw for over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns in that game.
Against who?
Against Miami.
The Killer Bees, and they were ranked number 1 in pass defense.
There's some stats on Bill Kinney this afternoon. He's having a good day so far. 12 of 19, 165 yards and a touchdown. Now a 3rd and 7. Chiefs go into the shotgun on 3rd and long. Kinney delivers it complete. Catcher's made by Stephon Page, and they give the first down. Let's see where they spot that football.
I don't know whether the roll that he had after he made the reception was good enough for the first down. Good move on his part.
He's got it. They're moving the sticks up, so he gets the first down. Nice play by Stephon Page, who's caught a touchdown pass this afternoon and who's really played very well. He's got a little more action last week for the first time against the Cardinals, and he's seen quite a bit of action, some key catches. That was a big conversion. That keeps this drive going. Remember, the Chiefs, 2 costly penalties kept the Raiders' 75-yard drive going for a score. The Chiefs, if they can come back, bounce back and score here, Len, kind of take a little bit of the sting away. There's Theotis Brown, finds a little hole as he tries to cut back up. Not too much room, though. It closed fast.
He was looking for a spot to go, but there wasn't.
Up to about the 40-yard line. Van McElroy's in to make the tackle, number 26.
Number 77 is Lyle Alzado, formerly of Denver. Here Brad Buddy and Jim Rourke trying to keep him out of the play, but he's strong. He's going along the line of scrimmage and trying to botch everything up. He doesn't get involved in the play, but he makes sure that the rest of provides some time for the rest of the defensive players get it.
Theotis Brown got 3 on the last play. He's now 4 carries, 23 yards. Second down and 7 at the Raider 40. Kinney, look out from behind, loose football. Raiders have it. Number 51, the 6-year veteran from Nebraska. Kinney took a shot by Howie Long, number 75, and that's when he cost up the football. A very costly turnover for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders taking over here in the second half. It is 17-14 to go with 8:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Chiefs still plagued with turnover problems. Then they've cost the football up twice. 2 fumbles lost. The first one, you remember, in the first half by Billy Jackson led to a touchdown. And now Kinney gets hit here and fumbles the ball.
Well, I tell you, that's a blind side. He has no idea that number 75, Howie Long, is coming in. And he just strips him of the football and tries to bury him in the thoroughfare. Somebody missed the block.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Plunkett sets up the screen. The Hawkins up over the 45. They get maybe a couple of yards on the play and not much more than that.
It's good defensive play by the Kansas City Chiefs, the linebackers and the defensive backs. Looked like that play was going to make something, but they held it to about a 2-yard gain.
Gain of 2 will bring up a 2nd down and 8 at the 47-yard line. There's a good look at Plunkett, who's struggled today, been overthrowing people. Good thing Marcus Allen showed up to throw the football. Plunkett with a deep drop, throws over the middle. That one is perfect. Nice catch, Todd Christensen, the tight end, number 46. Good play. Gary Blanton, number 57, you see him getting up right there, made the tackle on Christensen, but Plunkett really delivered that one.
Well, he got set back there, and he really stepped up and fired the football. His balls, a lot of times, football's been taking off on him. The nose is up, and it's sailing on him.
Plunkett's 8 of 16 now for 53 yards.
And excellent field position, by the way, for the Raiders.
Really is. Now 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 48-yard line. Takes the handoff, now going deep. Look out. Incomplete. He was looking for Malcolm Barnwell, 3rd-year man out of Virginia Union. But Lucius Smith was all over him there. Smith also acquired by the Chiefs in that trade, of course, involving Fuller going to Los Angeles Rams. Does a good job covering a tough receiver in Malcolm Barnwell.
Plunkett just threw that ball away because Lucius Smith had him well covered.
So we'll have a 2nd and 10 now at the 43-yard line. There you see the statistics on Plunkett now. He's 8 of 17, 70 yards, 2 interceptions, had 3 actually. One was called back on a penalty on the defense. That one's complete. Again, he goes to Christensen. Boy, he really likes to throw to that tight end, Christensen.
He was an outlet, Don, because the all-out blitz was going against Plunkett, and that's the first man you want to get the football to because you know he's going toward the sideline. Deron Cherry was the man that was trying to cover him, a free safety, because the strong safety was coming. Just got the ball out to him.
Christensen came into this game with 21 catches. He's caught 3 more today. Len, why do they go to the tight end so much on this team?
Well, because you're doubling out the outside people so much, and he has a lot of area in the middle to roam. In that case, it was a blitz, so Plunkett knew it was man-to-man, and he was going to the outside. He was an outlet, and he was to him in a hurry.
The 3rd down and 4 situation now for the Raiders. They stay on the ground. The Chiefs play it all the way. Good play. Nice play by Dave Lindstrom, number 71, who makes the tackle.
You see what penetration can do on a running play like that? Lindstrom guessed right. He fired through there. You see the guard pulling. He going right where the guard left. The tackle was supposed to come down and block him, but he was too quick. He got that penetration and made a big play.
Well, that's a good play for the defense. Also, they stalled this drive by the Raiders. If the Raiders had come back and scored here after that turnover, they not only would have taken the lead, it could have very well taken all the air out of the Chiefs' balloon. Instead, they'll hold on to the 3-point lead and force Ray Guy to come back to kick.
If they kick, they're going to kick. They got about 9 yards.
Yeah, 4th and 9. You don't think you fake it here, do you?
Nope.
He's looking for the corner again. He almost had it the last time. He was disgusted and went to the end zone, and this time he kicked it out of the end zone. Another booming punt by Ray Guy, this time 42 yards out of the end zone. The Chiefs will put it in play. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 17-14, the Chiefs and the Raiders battling here in Los Angeles. We'll come back in a moment. There you see that Buffalo-Miami game. As I told you, Ferguson threw for 5 touchdowns, over 400 yards in the game. Marino made the start for Miami in that game when he threw for 3 touchdowns. So maybe he's going to take over now with Miami.
I'm surprised that Buffalo scored that many points against Miami's defense. You know, the Shula was concerned about the lack of productivity by his offensive unit. That's why he made the change from Woodley to Marino. 1st and 10, Kansas City at the 20-yard line. The 2 Thomas brothers were back in the backfield again. Kinney under pressure. Kinney sacked Bob Nelson. The man who recovered the fumble just gets a big sack on Kinney. Good play by Nelson here. Well, they're doing some games over here. Here you're taking a look at Howie Long, number 75, taking an inside rush, and 51 also coming there. Lutz had 2 guys that tried to block but couldn't come up with either one of them. It's a big sack now for the Raiders. Might add that Matt Herkenhoff, update on his injury. He could play some, but they're holding him out for right now. He's got full hamstring muscle.
There you see the stats in the sack department. It's been all Raiders in that department so far. A loss of 5 on that play. Second down and 15, and here's Billy Jackson. He doesn't get much. He runs into Bill Pickell. Gets maybe 2 yards, no more than that. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 13. Talk about big plays. Just before the commercial break, the play by Lindstrom maybe could be the biggest play of the ball game so far defensively for Kansas City.
Well, I thought it was a real big play because it stopped their drive, forced them to punt the football. Had they picked up a 1st down, they could have been in position of gaining a few more yards within the field goal range.
5 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Kansas City 17, the Raiders put 14. We got a good football game on our hands here in the Coliseum of Los Angeles. Spread formation on 3rd down. Kinney sacked again, 5th time today, and it's Bill Pickell. Raiders in their nickel defense, and Pickell, number 71, wrapped him up.
When they get you in a passing situation, they get 4 down linemen, and they don't worry about the running game. Here they come. Howie Long is there. Pickell is there. He comes to the inside. Alzado with putting pressure from the other side. Bill Kinney had no place to go.
Of course, you line up in that spread. They know you're throwing, so they're going to come all the way. Arnold will kick from deep in his own end zone. Pruitt is back. There's a look at Arnold. Good averaging on his kicks today. His longest one, 55 yards. He needed a big boot here. He gets it out to about the 40, but it's a low line drive kick. Pruitt will have time to return it. Chiefs have no time to cover on it. So all of a sudden, that fumble is really looming big here. And Kansas City has the football now, 1st and 10, or rather the Raiders have the football, 1st and 10 inside the Chiefs' 30-yard line. He needed to hang that one up, Len, and he didn't do it.
No, he had a line drive. He didn't get it. It looked like a knuckleball going out there, end over end. Now they're in excellent field position. All they need is, I think, probably a 1st down, and if they could be in Barr's range. Well, the longest he's kicked so far is a 39-yarder. But they're not far away from that right now.
That's a 36-yard punt for Arnold, but first of all, not so much the distance. He didn't even hang it up. And 15 yards on the return by Pruitt. 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 27-yard line. Raiders down by 3 and threatening. They go to the big guy, Marcus Allen. And Allen gets inside the 25, maybe the 24-yard line. In there on the tackle is Dave Lindstrom. Still was also there.
I said that the Raiders would go back to basics, and here it is. Dave Dalby getting a good block on the nose guard, trying to grab the linebacker, which is not legal, by the way, but stopping the penetration by that defensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Giving about 3 yards on the play for Allen. Brings up a 2nd down and 7. Plunkett, quick toss to the outside. Complete. Calvin Muhammad to the 19-yard line. He's going to be a little bit short of the 1st down, about 1.5 yards for that 1st down. Lucius Smith was there. Good call.
Yes, it was. It was a good tackle because he didn't make anything after he received the football. They're in a situation right now that they could go for, if they don't make it now, they could go on 4th down.
Look what the Raiders have done in the 3rd quarter. 34 points they've been scoring in the 3rd quarter. They've been holding the opposition to 9.
Good play.
Fumble. A nice play. Loose football. Kansas City says they have it. Let's wait and see. They do. Marcus Allen coughs up the football, and the defense once again rises to the occasion, and they recover the football. Well, turnovers are playing a very important part of this football game, and the Chiefs have forced still another one.
Here we are, looking right at ground level. This is a 3rd and short situation. Good penetration, good hit by Charles Jackson. The ball is loose. Lloyd Burroughs, it looks like he's the one that got his hands on the football, coming up with really a big turnover for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs have now forced 19 turnovers in their last 3 games. There's our score late in the 3rd quarter here in Los Angeles. That's the third time today that the Chiefs have forced a Raider turnover, 3 in this game. That gives them 19 in the last 3 games and 26 on the year. And as you see, they lead the NFL in that department. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, the offense has turned the ball over themselves 17 times coming into this game. And they've done it a couple of times today. So while they've forced a lot of turnovers, they've also given the ball up a lot. Kinney on 1st and 10, throwing. And it's complete. Nice catch by Carlos Carson at about the 37-yard line. Good for the first down.
Here it is. Bill Kinney, a little play action. Faking, getting it out here to Carlos Carson. It's a good throw. They've been able to work to the outside against number 20, Ted Watts. That has been open. He's playing very, very strong to the inside.
Ball is spotted at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, Kansas City. Setbacks now Billy Jackson and Theodis Brown. They've had their most success on the ground with those 2 guys in there. Look at the hole for Billy Jackson. Nice run by Jackson. Up over the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Those 2 guys, as you may have mentioned earlier, Len, seem to work very well together, and they've had their most success on the ground with the 2 of them as the setbacks.
Yes, Billy Jackson, I'm impressed with his blocking abilities. He's a hard-nosed type football player that's not afraid to stick his nose in there, and he's made some excellent blocks out there this afternoon.
Billy Jackson picks up 5 on the play, so it is a 2nd down and 5. The Chiefs on the move here following that turnover. Statistics on Kinney this afternoon. Well, earlier in this game, they took advantage of the turnover that the defense got them and scored. Let's see if they can do it again. They need a touchdown here or at least 3 points on the board rather badly. Kinney gets it away, complete. Willie Scott, the tight end. There's a flag down on the play. Looks like they may have laid Kinney out. We may get a roughing the passer call. They really popped Kinney, and the flag is in the Kansas City backfield.
Oh, Rod. Oh, it's holding. I can't see it.
Oh,
Rod Martin, 53, tackled Kinney, but he tackled him just as Bill was getting rid of the football.
Oh, that hurts, Leonard.
Oh, yes, it does.
Penalties have really hurt the Chiefs this afternoon. And I guess that's one of the things you can't afford to do, and John Makovic talks about it all the time. We just can't keep making these mistakes. You can't turn the football over, and you can't get called for penalties.
Number 43, offense. 2nd down.
Wait a minute. I just said he was a good blocker. He's a good blocker, but a terrible holder.
He doesn't hold too well, does he? Not very secretive about it. All right, the ball will come back to the 32-yard line. And look at that, 9 penalties now for 75 yards. Ooh. 2nd down and 13 at the 32-yard line. Chiefs in the shotgun, spread formation. Kinney. Dumps it out to Kenny Thomas. Thomas gets up over the 40-yard line. He'll be short of the first down and get to about the 42-yard line. I like Thomas as a receiver coming out of the backfield. Then he's got good hands and make sure he's got the football. We got another flag down, and this time we've got a personal foul called, and it'll be against the Raiders, it looks like. Maybe this time they called roughing the passer because Kinney got hit again.
It must be. Bill went back to pick up the flag for the official. Had it been against the offense, I'm sure he wouldn't have done it.
Here's the call for the referee, Jerry Markbright.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 93, defense, a shot to the head, 1st down.
All right, Greg Townsend is the guy who gets called for it. Greg Townsend, number 93, gets called. He's one of the linemen who comes in when they go to 4 down linemen in that nickel defense. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Chiefs with a 1st down now at the Raider 45-yard line as a result of that penalty. Here's Theodis Brown. Nothing. Theodis Brown runs right into Howie Long. That was an interesting play, Leonard, the way they set that up. It looks like maybe somebody made a mistake.
Well, they got great penetration. That play is unusual because they send Billy Jackson in motion, and he is actually trapping the man. That's his job is to block him, knock him out, so that the remaining ball carrier can go inside.
That was a strange play. Here you're looking at the Chiefs scoring. 3rd quarter has not been a very productive one for them at all. The Chiefs have had trouble scoring up until last week when they got those 38 points against the Cardinals. That's the most points they scored in the game in a couple of years at least. Here's Kinney throwing complete, 1st down. A Again, it is Carlos Carson. I'll tell you something, Leonard. Time and again, when you need the big play, when you need the big first down, he'll go to Carlos Carson, and Carson's doing the job for him.
Oh, yes, he is. You take a look at Bill Kenny and see what playing quarterback is all about. See how much fun it is when you throw the football. Huh? And then Ted even eased up on him a little bit. But you know that you're going to get hit. Ted Hendricks was coming in there with no one block him. He had a straight shot at the quarterback. Actually, Ted Hendricks eased up on Bill Kenny that time.
Carlos Carson is averaging better than 17 yards a catch. One of the top receivers in the AFC. Makes another big catch right there on a second down play. It is a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Kenny looking right, throwing. It's short, incomplete. He was looking for Carlos Carson again, this time on the right side. Ted Watts was covering him. Carlos Carson has been working on Watts, as you mentioned, pretty good today.
Yes, he is. And I noticed when Watts is over there on his right corner position that he's playing the inside real tough, but he's giving you the outside. And I know on 3 or 4 occasions, Bill Kenny's gone to the outside. It's been very successful.
That man right there is the Stork, as they call him. 121st consecutive game. That's incredible when you think about it for a linebacker. He never gets hurt.
He gets hurt. He just doesn't tell anybody.
Spread formation on 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers for Kansas City. Kenny throwing for Billy Jackson, incomplete, and the Stork was all over him. Hendricks is covering him, number 83. Breakaway, the entertainment information and news hour every weekday at 4 deals with you name it. Legal advice, the world of entertainment, politics, the soaps, comedy, movie reviews, and lots more. Weekdays at 4 on Breakaway on KCTV5. That statistic right there is now updated. That is current as to what the Chiefs have done in scoring in 4 quarters. That is right up to the second. That is right up to the second. Raiders in the nickel defense on 3rd down and 10 at the 33-yard line. Out of the spread, Kenny throwing over the middle, complete. Penalty marker goes down.
It'll be against the Raiders. Caught him upside the head.
Stephon Page makes another nice catch for the Kansas City Chiefs. But that penalty should go against the Raiders, and if it does, that's another 1st down.
Yes, it is. He was hitting him upside the head. It's either face masking or unnecessary roughness. Yeah, he hit him upside the head.
Costly penalty, too, Len, because Stephon Page was short of the 1st down when he made the catch. He still had about 2-3 yards to go. So that will give the Chiefs a 1st down, and it will spot the ball at the Raider 14-yard line.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 36, defense, a blow to the head.
You might remember that's the 2nd time. He hit Bill Kenny out when he was out of bounds. He got a 15-yard penalty in the 1st half.
That's right. That's Mike Davis, who, by the way, is playing this game with a broken finger. But he's the guy who hit Kenny out of bounds for a cheap shot, and now he gets caught again with a personal foul. 15 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. The Chiefs with a 1st down at the Raider 14-yard line. Look at Seattle still leading San Diego. Out on the flat. It's complete again to Stephon Page. They whistle it down. Well, the Chiefs are eating up a lot of clock. They've had the football over 6 minutes here, and time has just run out here in the 3rd quarter. Ted Watts was on Stephon Page. There's the gun, and that's it. 15 minutes left to go in this football game here at the Coliseum in L.A. Chiefs clinging to a 3-point lead over the Raiders. Don Fortune and Len Dawson back at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. There you see the stats through 3 quarters. Kansas City losing 2 yards on the last play, looking at a 2nd down and 12 here. But Len, they held the football for over 6 minutes, and that's really something.
I think it's good, particularly for the Chiefs defensive unit. We're coming into the 4th quarter, and the ball game is on the line right now, and they're pretty well rested right now. It's hot down on the floor.
Carlos Carson in motion. Penalty marker goes down. Flag on the play. And let's see, did somebody make contact from the defense?
Well, the defense jumped off sides. Might have touched the offensive player, but I don't know whether that's against the defense. Big break for the Chiefs. They lost 2 yards on the previous play. Now they're looking at the 2nd and 7.
Number 77, defense, 2nd down.
Encroachment against Lyle Alzado, who jumped. So it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Alzado is the type of player that is really anxious to get off to a quick start, and a good quarterback, a better quarterback, if he alters his countdown there, can sometimes have him jump.
Ball at the 11-yard line of the Raiders. Carson in motion. Kinney looking for Theodis Brown, and they got to call pass interference there, Len, on Matt Millen, number 55.
There are flags all over the place. There are 3 of them down there.
They got to call pass interference. Brown and Millen are having words about it, but Millen hit him too soon. There's also a flag in the backfield as well, and there's one up in the line of scrimmage. There's 3 flags down on this play. We'll have to wait and let the referees sort this whole thing out. Millen is pleading his case that he's not guilty, but you saw very blatantly that he was.
The flag was dropped for pass interference. There is no foul. The pass could not be caught. We have holding number 73 offense.
Lenny, I don't know about that call.
Well, that's the rule that they have. If you interfere, there's no way that they catch the ball. But that ball wasn't that far.
I didn't think it was that far along either. I thought he pushed him from behind. If he doesn't touch him, he's got a chance to maybe take a couple extra steps and make the catch. That's a judgment call, obviously, on the part of the referee. He's saying that Theodis Brown could not catch the football, so Millen's not guilty. Tampa Bay is still leading Dallas. Now, Tampa Bay, the worst team in football. That's been said by their own coach, John McKay.
Worst team he's ever seen, he said that.
And they are still leading the Cowboys, who once again are trying to come from behind this week. Well, that penalty hurt. That's the Chiefs' 10th penalty, I think, in this football game. 2nd down and 15. Out of a spread, Kinney looking in the end zone. Oh, Stephon Page incomplete. Otis McKinney on top of him. Incomplete, looking for Stephon Page in the end zone.
He almost came up with a terrific catch. Here it is, Bill Kinney getting rid of the ball, going to the corner of the end zone. Stephon Page going up, does get a hand on it just off his fingertips. Would have been a great catch.
Give Otis McKinney credit. He timed that hit perfectly, too. Chiefs now with 10 penalties in this football game, as I mentioned, for 80 yards. There are the stats on Kinney. 217 yards and a touchdown. This may be the biggest play of the game for Kansas City. It is 3rd down and 15 at the 21-yard line. 14 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the game. 17-14 Chiefs. Kinney, incomplete, looking for Carson. He was nowhere to be found. Lester Hayes was on him. So Lowry will have to come in and attempt a field goal here.
They had the safety blitz on that time. They were putting a lot of pressure on Bill Kinney. There was no way in the world he could just sit back there and wait for anything to happen. He had to get rid of the football.
There's a look at Nick Lowry, who will come in to attempt his 2nd field goal. He's missed only once this year. He's now 9 of 10 in the field goal department. He was 8 of...
That's 29, which would be a 39-yard kick.
About a 39-yard kick. He was 8 of 9 coming into the game. He's made one today, so he's 9 of 10. 39-yard kick. Lowry, you guessed it.
Well, he's something.
He doesn't miss, Leonard, from inside the 35-yard line. He doesn't miss.
Something, I tell you.
All right, Mr. Automatic gives the Chiefs a 6-point lead. 20-14 now, Kansas City. There's 14:40 to go. The Chiefs on that drive held the football for 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Todd Blackledge on the sidelines there with the football. He's off the headset here in the 2nd half, which is standard procedure for him. We'll talk to the players and the stars of this game. So I hope you'll join us for Sports Extra tonight at 10:30 on TV5. Here's Clay Montgomery to return this kickoff by Lowry. Montgomery dragged down. It picked on the 25-yard line by Eddie Beckman, yeah.
And it's a good thing Ed Beckman corralled him, because there was an opening there. He'd have gained probably another 20 yards if Ed hadn't tackled him.
Nice return by Montgomery, 26 yards on the return, so the Raiders will put it in play at their own 26-yard line with 14:30 to go in this football game. Chiefs leading by 6, 20-14. Nice to have you with us here live on TV5 for our exclusive coverage of this Chiefs-Raiders game. Don't forget these Raiders, the rematch will be on Sunday, November the 6th at Arrowhead Stadium, and good tickets still available for that game. Call 924-3333. That's the Chiefs ticket number. Here's Kinney. Out to Marcus Allen. On 1st down, Allen is up to about the 31-yard line.
I think that flunked it.
rather Plunkett, excuse me.
Kenny was in there so long. I was just going to ask you, how long did they have possession of the football?
6 minutes and 30 seconds.
6 minutes and 30 seconds. That's really good because that defense should be well rested.
Lloyd Burris made the stop on Allen. Make it a gain of 4. Make it 2nd down and 6 now at about the 30-yard line. Up front, still Kramer and Bell, the linebackers. Howard, Jackson on the outside. Blanton and Zamberlin, number 61, inside. Out to Frank Hawkins this time, and Hawkins up over the 40-yard line. 1st down, Los Angeles. Frank Hawkins, his 3rd year out of Nevada, gets the 1st down for the Raiders.
Well, they had a screen pass that time. They're getting the ball to their backs. You can see number 27, Frank Hawkins, just hanging around, then all of a sudden going out to the sideline. He's an outlet man, makes a good move, and picks up a 1st down. Now they're getting into pretty good field goal, or not field goal range, but field position.
Raiders on their own 41-yard line, 1st and 10. 16 1st downs for Kansas City in this game, 15 for the Raiders. Mike Bell can't get to the quarterback. It's complete. The tight end makes the catch. Todd Christensen, number 46. Thomas Howard is there on the tackle. So is Zamberlin. You see him getting up. Number 61, in case you're wondering. He was picked up on waivers from New England in his 5th year out of Pacific Lutheran.
Look at number 70, Henry Lawrence on Still. I said it'd be a good matchup. He catches him, throws him down, but Still does not quit. Gets up and tries to get back involved in the play. But Henry Lawrence is an outstanding offensive player.
You got 2 good ones going at it right there in Lawrence and Still. We talked a lot about Lutz and Young, but that's been a battle too, Lawrence and Still. 2nd and 3, Hawkins, 1st down. Raiders now grinding it out. Plenty of time for Los Angeles in this game. 13 minutes left to go in the football game. They're only down by 6, 20 to 14.
What Kansas City has to do on 1st down is stop them, put them in a passing situation. It's 1st down situation now. And if they can put them in a 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 8, then they can pretty much dictate what they can do offensively.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Plunkett gets it away a little bit high.
Oh, good play by Green.
Yeah, Gary Green really racked up Clay Montgomery on that play. Plunkett's throw just a little bit too high.
It was too high. If it had been low, he could have come back for the football and made the reception. Take a look at the other side. The other Mike Bell, number 79, going against Davis, number 99, going against 79. He does a good job on Mike Bell. A lot of bodies there. You notice that? Plunkett's in the middle of all those people. And maybe that's the reason why he threw it high, that he had to get it over somebody's hand. But now they're in a 2nd and 10 situation. For the Chiefs defense, it should be a good situation because they'll get into their nickel defense.
Chiefs in the nickel. Raiders flank 2 receivers down to the bottom of your screen. On 2nd and 10, Plunkett going deep. Looking again for Montgomery, incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Deron Cherry was right on Montgomery there. Had him covered all the way, and Plunkett just heaved it long.
Well, here it is. You're taking a look at it. Number 28, Montgomery. There is the bump by Green. Here it is. You see him accelerate now, and the ball is thrown too far. Now, there's no way that he could catch that ball. You throw it to the inside, Montgomery might have had a chance for it, but when you throw it out of bounds...
Here's the 3rd down conversion. Kansas City in the 50% situation in that department, which is pretty acceptable. The Raiders only 2 of 10 now on 3rd down. Let's see what they do here. On 3rd and 10, Plunkett slips, gets up, runs into his own man, still on his feet, throwing long.
I thought he threw it to the official.
I guess it was Malcolm Barnwell.
Yes.
But when he let the football go, Barnwell had to be 5 yards on the other side of the field. There is a flag down, though, in the backfield. I wonder if they're going to call holding here against Oakland, against the Raiders, whoever they are. I think they are going to call holding against them.
I thought he was throwing the ball to the official.
He threw the ball.
He's the only one open.
He's the only one there.
Holding number 65, offense, decline, 4th down.
Chiefs will, of course, decline that penalty. And they will get the football back with 12:21 to go. Look at this now. San Diego coming back early in the 4th quarter. Then they've tied up Seattle 21-21. So the defense is stiffened a little bit.
Well, that's right. I think Seattle was out in front 21-0.
Yep, I think they were. Ray Guy back to kick. There's his average for the day. He's the best in the business, maybe. Back at his own 40-yard line. Chiefs sent 2 men back to return this kick by Guy. There's 12:21 to go. It's 20-14. Kansas City leading. Guy will try to angle this one out of bounds. And it's down beautifully. Oh, nice play, Otis McKinney. Chiefs elected to let it go. McKinney down it at the 4-yard line. Excellent kick by Ray Guy. Good play by McKinney. 42 yards on that kick. When the Chiefs come back, they'll put it in play at their own 4-yard line. Don Fortune and Len Dawson back at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. All right, Len, the defense just did the job. They held on that last possession by the Raiders, but now the offense really has its work cut out for them. 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line with 12 minutes to go.
Well, they really do. You know, you would like to run the ball, but of course the Raiders are thinking that too, and I look for them to try to stuff them on 1st down.
1st down, they give it to Billy Jackson. Jackson, a little hole, but it really closed quickly. He doesn't get more than a yard on the play. Everybody up front is there to meet him, including Howie Long, number 75, who may be on the bottom of the pile.
2 things, 12 minutes remaining in this football game, 12:06. I don't know why well, there it is. Now he's starting the clock. 12 minutes remaining in the football game. You're down deep in your own territory. You would like to be able to run the football, but the Chiefs aren't really noted for that. And sometimes you have to take a chance.
Rams leading San Francisco in the 4th quarter. Philadelphia and the Giants. Don't forget the Giants will be at Arrowhead Stadium. 3 o'clock kickoff next Sunday. Should be a good one. Giants don't get here very often. Kinney from his own end zone, incomplete. Looking for Henry Marshall, number 89. Double coverage on Marshall. The Raiders, excellent coverage by Davis and Watts that time. You see Marshall going back to the huddle rather slowly. Took a little shot on that.
Well, he certainly did. Well, I'll tell you, Davis is going to hit you. If he gets any chance whatsoever, he's going to take a shot at you.
Eagles leading it by a point in the 4th quarter over the Giants, who will be in Kansas City next week. Raiders now go into their nickel defense. They go with 4 down linemen. Pickell and Townsend come in. Kinlaw comes out. They still have Howie Long and Lyle Alzado in there.
I think you got to go. You go 11 and a half minutes remaining in this ball game. 6-point lead. You can't get too conservative right now.
3rd down and 9. They have to put it up, Leonard. The Chiefs have 3 wide receivers in there right now. Kinney over the middle. Incomplete.
Is it
intercepted? It is. No, wait a minute. They say incomplete. That's not an interception. There's a penalty marker down besides. Van McElroy, number 26. There's the flag. McElroy thought he had the interception. So did the crowd. They're booing. He's arguing the case. I think he trapped it, but let's wait and see what the penalty call is. There's a flag down in the end zone.
If there's a penalty in the end zone by the Chiefs, it's 2 points. Holding on Kansas City, and if it happened in the end zone, it's 2 points for the Raiders. All right, here it is. Kenny going back in. And I don't know. They're taking a look at Brad Buddy. I don't know if he's the case or not.
It looks like he's in the end zone, too, doesn't he?
Well, it's awfully close.
The Raiders are arguing that very point. I just saw Millen, number 55, the linebacker, screaming at the referee, and that may be exactly what he was arguing about.
Well, now, if it's if it isn't in the end zone, they'll refuse it, so that it'll be 4th down. Let's take another look at it. Maybe we can see. Well, maybe they'll tell us.
Let's get the call here from Jerry Markbright.
Holding number 75.
Right.
Penalty decline. 4th down.
Ellis Gardner is in at right guard position, or right tackle for Lutz is the guy who got called for holding. So it was out of the end zone. It brings up 4th down and 9. And there you see Arnold back in the back of his end zone, on the back line of the end zone to kick.
And Greg Pruitt standing on his own 45, on Chiefs 45.
He's got to hang this one up, and he doesn't. Gets it out to about the 45, but it's a low kick.
Good coverage. Good coverage.
Oh, I'll tell you something, Albert Lewis is worth $1 million on kick coverage. He was sensational last week against St. Louis. He did not have much time to get down there, Len. That was not a very high kick.
$1 million, huh? I think he'd settle for $500,000.
20-14 with 11:20 to go. Well, the Chiefs offense, which held the football for 6 minutes and 30 seconds in that 3rd quarter, did not get the job done this time. There you see the ball now. 1st and 10 at the Chiefs 46. So again, it's the defense that'll have to stop them to hang out of this 6-point lead. Plunkett throwing on 1st down. And it's complete. Todd Christensen, the tight end, makes the catch. Tackle was by Jerry Blanton, number 57.
Don, let's take a look at to the right of your screen to see what was happening. Now here it is right there. A takedown. Boy, that is awfully close to being in the end zone. That was Ellis Gardner, number 75, doing a, I don't know what kind of a hold and throw was that in wrestling terms. Awfully close to the end zone.
Gardner was in at left tackle for Jim Rourke, not for Lutz at right tackle. So you saw the holding right there. Now they give the ball to Frank Hawkins. Hawkins has got the first down. Hawkins to the Kansas City 31-yard line.
And here we are once again in territory right now. The first down is so very important for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs lead.
They stop.
Dallas coming back, Leonard, against Tampa Bay. They've now tied that game in the third quarter. 10 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here in Los Angeles, and the defense trying to hold on to a 6-point lead for Kansas City. Chiefs led in this game at one time 14-0.
A lot of time left.
First down and 10 at the 31. Plunkett throws incomplete. That's an incompleted pass. It was intended for Calvin Muhammad, number 82. So the defense breaks that one up. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 at the 31.
That defense really didn't do it that time.
Not really.
He was wide open. That was not a good throw or a good catch. That would have been at least a 5- or 6-yard gain.
World Airways of the Folly Theater holding an auction to benefit the Folly. We hope you'll place your bid today. You could be the lucky winner of 2 round-trip tickets to locations like London, New York, San Francisco. Details are in today's Sunday Star. The winners to be announced Saturday, October the 15th at 6:30, live from the Folly here on TV5. There's Marcus Allen. Penalty marker is down.
Looked like the Chiefs jumped offside.
That would be the 11th penalty against Kansas City.
It gets to the ridiculous stage, you know.
That's
those things.
Encroachment. They're calling encroachment against the Chiefs here on defense. That'll be 11 penalties for 85 yards. And Lenny, if they lose this football game, that'll be the reason. Penalties have really hurt them in this game.
They really have. And there's a couple that they didn't accept. They just had one down near the end zone that they didn't accept.
2nd down and 5 as they spot the ball here at the 26-yard line. Let's hear the referee. I believe you can say it again.
Number 99, defense, lining up in the neutral zone. 2nd down.
Now, Mike Bell is the guy who got in that zone, number 99. And you can't get in there. You got to give him room off the ball. So it'll be a 2nd down and 5 at the Kansas City 26-yard line. 9:50 to go in this game. Handoff, Frank Hawkins, big hole. Hawkins down to about the 16-yard line of the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Chiefs, who have been giving up yardage against the rush, teams have run on them, right now are unable to stop the Raiders' running game when they need it.
They're blowing them out. Take a look. There isn't any penetration there. Good blocking by the Raiders. He doesn't get touched till he's about 4 or 5 yards into the secondary or off the line of scrimmage.
Worst of all, Art Still, number 67, is the injured player. Still is down, and I hope that's not a knee problem. Well, we'll find out when we come back. 9:37 to go, 20-14. The Chiefs lead it. They're still down there talking to Art Still. Dr. Howard Elfeld is down there. So is Dave Kendall, one of the trainers. There you see the stats on Still last season with 68. All-pro, superb defensive end. And if he does have a serious knee injury, or if it's any kind of a long-term injury where he's going to be out for a while, it's going to hurt this defensive unit. They're helping him up right now. Let's see what the problem is. Doesn't look like it's a knee, does it, Len?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't. You never know how serious it is. I'll assure you it's serious to Art Still because it hurts. But he seems to be walking off all right on his own.
Well, he was holding his leg when he went down. You know, he had it kind of crossed over. I thought maybe it was a knee injury, but he's walking off okay, so maybe he just took a shot in the head. I saw Dave Kendall there pointing to his head. Somebody did fall on him when he went down on that last play. You probably noticed it in the corner of your screen on the replay, but apparently that's what it is. He may have just been stunned. Clock is running with 9:25 to go. 1st and 10, though, is the important thing at the 17-yard line.
Play pass.
Play action, good blocking, good protection for a while. Then it breaks down. Somebody got their hand in his face.
Oh, another play.
Marker down. I wonder if they're going to call the face mask here. They called everything else. Now maybe downfield. Flag was downfield. Flag was dropped at the 12. Looks like it's going to be defensive holding against Kansas City. That'd be their 12th penalty in this football game. 12 penalties for 90 yards. Boy, you're beating yourself when you do that.
Holding number 61, defense, automatic first down.
John Zamberlin, the inside linebacker, is the guy who got called for holding. So now it is a first down at the 12-yard line. First and 10 at the Kansas City 12. There's a look at Zamberlin, who's really played pretty well today. Remember, he's the 5th guy to have to play that inside linebacker spot because of injuries. There's Hawkins. Hawkins down to about the 7-yard line. Deron Cherry makes the tackle. Anyway, we haven't seen Marcus Allen carry the football. They've been giving it to Hawkins. I wonder if Allen's hurt.
Well, he had the hip pointer coming into the game, but he's looked healthy to me all day. Maybe they're just have him loosen up his arm or something, get ready to throw down here. Well, don't be surprised if he doesn't get the ball now.
There are Hawkins' stats on the afternoon. He picked up 5 on the last play, so it is now 2nd down and 5 at the 7. 19 first downs for the Raiders, 16 for Kansas City.
Oh, gee, what a hole. He's in there. Fumble.
Loose football, but a touchdown.
Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen is the guy who recovered the fumble in the end zone for the touchdown. Let's see that one again.
Marcus Allen went in motion to the side of the ball carrier. Here it comes. Hawkins coming in there. A good hole. He's finding a way to get hit right at the goal line. It's being stripped from him by 57, Jerry Blanton. But number 32 is there. We said he was the man that you got to contain. Now, he's done a lot today. He's caught the ball. He's thrown the ball. He's run the ball. And now he's recovered a fumble for a touchdown.
Marcus Allen has been superb. So the Raiders go 54 yards here for the score. And if Chris Barr converts here, the Raiders will be on top 21-20. The kick is good. So the Raiders jump out to a 1-point lead with 8:29 to go. The first time in this ball game that the Raiders have led. 21-20 is our score at the Coliseum in Los Angeles as you see Marcus Allen recover in the end zone for the touchdown. As you mentioned, Len, Marcus Allen has really hurt this club. He's done it all today. He recovers that fumble in the end zone for the touchdown. Barr kicking off as Deotis Brown will wisely down it in the end zone. He was about 3 yards deep when he made the catch, so Kansas City will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. That last possession, the last time Kansas City had the football, they started in play at their own 4. They went nowhere, and that really has been the difference in why Oakland right now has the lead.
A lot of time left. 8:23 left in this football game. A lot of time left. That last scoring drive, 2 minutes and 52 seconds.
46 yards in 6 plays.
Can't panic now. Offensively, you can't panic. You got a lot of time. And they've been able to move the football on this team.
Single setback right now is Billy Jackson. That Beckman is in motion with tight end. Kinney on 1st and 10 at the 20. Oh. Matt Millen, the linebacker, number 55, is the guy who got in on him. Kinney got it away, but took another shot.
Well, he's coming right in his face. Batting the ball down. You must try to keep the pressure away from the quarterback up the middle so he can step up and throw the ball. When you get pressure up the middle, you know, you're in trouble.
Kinney's really been under pressure, too, in the second half, particularly. The Oakland defense has been in that backfield a lot.
Now they're just worrying about the passing game. They're coming in now, bringing in some additional defensive linemen. They'll get into a nickel defense. Those linemen are just going to dig in and they will not worry about the run. They'll just take off after the quarterback. Uh-oh, timeout. Now is not the time to call a timeout.
Bill Kinney calls a timeout. He didn't like what he saw. He's going over to the sidelines now to talk to John Makovic. It is a 2nd down and 10 at the 20-yard line, and that stops the clock with 8:19 to go, but it cost Kansas City a timeout, which means they have just 2 left now in this football game, while the Raiders still have all 3 of theirs remaining. Glenn, what do you called here on a 2nd down and 10. This would be a good time for a draw play. They're going to be playing pass.
Well, they're going to be coming off. There's always somebody that's responsible for the draw play. One of those linemen or a linebacker. Generally speaking, the middle area is the area that you can find a couple of seams, because they'll try to double team the outside men, make sure that they cover the wide receivers. And the middle is generally the area where you might be able to find something.
As you saw, one Los Angeles team has already won today. The Rams have won their game up north in San Francisco. The Kansas City Chiefs bench, meanwhile, reports are still shaken up and suffering a dizzy spell of sorts on the sideline. Took a good shot in the head. We were right. And he may not be back in this football game. They really don't know yet. All right. Right now, the job is for the offense. 2nd down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Again, the single setback. Billy Jackson, Chiefs with 3 wide receivers. They want to throw, and the defense knows it. It's complete. Henry Marshall makes the grab for Kansas City. Close to the first down, but he'll be short of it. Be about at the 28-yard line. He'll be about 2 yards short, maybe 3.
That was a great throw by Bill Kenny, because Henry Marshall was well covered. Here's you're seeing. I said about keeping the pressure away from him so he could step and throw. He was able to do that. He was able to hit Henry Marshall.
It'll bring up a big 3rd down play here now. 3rd down and 10. Bill Kenny, with that completion, is now 4th on the all-time passing list for Kansas City. He just surpassed Cotton Davidson. The guy who's #1 in that department is sitting right next to me.
Danny?
No, not my spotter, Danny Moore. Here's Kenny on 3rd and 2. Henry Marshall, good catch, 1st down. Henry Marshall was covered by Ted Watts. It's been a long afternoon for Ted Watts, Len. They have worked him over pretty good at that corner spot.
Well, he's playing so much to the inside that he's leaving the outside open, and that's where they've been beating. That's 4 or 5 times this afternoon where Kansas City Chiefs have been able to catch the pass to the outside on number 20, Ted Watts.
As you mentioned, the Chiefs can move the football on this team, and you can throw on the Raiders. Theismann certainly proved that. He erased a 15-point deficit with 6 minutes to go in that game against the Redskins, and there's 7:26 to go in this football game.
They have to eliminate penalties and mistakes. They had too many penalties, holding penalties, offsides, things like that.
Billy Jackson carries up over the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Rod Martin is there to make the catch. Boy, you're right, Len. That's the difference in the ball game. If you lose this game, you can really look to penalties as being one way where you beat yourself.
Well, against a team like the Raiders, generally they don't give you too many opportunities to beat them. I mean, you got to go out and do it yourself. And they've thrown the ball up a couple of times today, and in the first half, the Chiefs capitalized on an interception and went in for a touchdown. Now they just have to eliminate their mistakes now. That's all, and they can move the ball.
Jackson picked up 4 on the last play. 2nd and 6. He's the lone setback. Beckman is in motion. Kenny, plenty of time. Going deep. Carlos Carson incomplete. Lester Hayes was on it, number 37. They're all pro quarterback. Carlos Carson, who Kenny likes to go to, and he needs the big play. But it was a little long, incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down situation, and again, the Raiders will go with 4 down linemen as they go into their nickel defense.
They had man-to-man coverage that last time. Unfortunately, they picked on the wrong guy. They picked on Lester Hayes, who's considered as good as anybody in the National Football League at that cornerback position.
6:38 to go. That stopped the clock. 3rd down and 6 now. Chiefs need another conversion here. They've been pretty good in this department. They really need a conversion right here. This is a big 3rd down play. There's 6:38 left. Spread formation. 3 wide outs. Kenny delivers. 1st down. It's complete. Kenny Thomas coming out of the backfield. The rookie, the younger brother of Jarrell Thomas, makes the catch. But there's a penalty marker down, and it's going to go against Kansas City. I think we got a holding call against the Chiefs. Len, what can you say? That says it all.
There's a lot of things that can be said, and none of them too pleasant. Here you are fighting, brother. Fighting for your life with 6.5 minutes to go.
Holding number 73, offense, 3rd down.
Bob Simmons, who's been playing at that right guard position in place of the injured Tom Condon, gets the call and gets the penalty. That's the 13th Kansas City penalty for 105 yards. There's the clock. 21-20. The Raiders lead it. Now it's a 3rd down and 16. Local defense. Chiefs again in the spread. Now they had converted once on third down. They got to do it again. They need 16 yards on this play, and they don't even come near close to it. The Theolis Brown out of the backfield. Otis McKinney comes up to make the stop. So the Chiefs will have to give up the football with 6:21. And that may be the penalty that really broke their back. That holding penalty after they had made the first down and then some. On a nice catch by Kenny Thomas, the play call back, and now the Chiefs will have to punt.
Now it's up to the defense. As I said before, 6:21 remaining in this football game. There's still time to go. They're down by 1 point, so any type of score is going to put them ahead.
Greg Pruitt back to receive Arnold's kick. He's got to hang this one up. Pretty good kick. He'll drive Pruitt back to his own 15-yard line. Pruitt to the 20, 25, and that's about all. All right, Art Still will not be coming back out on defense here now. The Chiefs bench reports he's not going to be able to play again. So we'll see who they send out.
Probably Dave Lindstrom.
Probably be Lindstrom at the other defensive end spot. So Still is out after being shaken up. Lindstrom is the man who goes out now in place of Still at the left end spot for Kansas City. Raiders with the football here.
I gotta suspect that they're going to run with the football, and you have to stop them now. Right now on first down.
Been a good afternoon of football.
There it is.
1 point lead. Marcus Allen, who hasn't carried the ball in a while, and gets nowhere. Doesn't even get up to the line of scrimmage. Charles Jackson is there. So is Mike Bell, number 99.
All right, that first down, they had to do it. Taking a look at the defense of Kansas City, 99 is Mike Bell, fighting his way to the inside. He's not thinking pass, otherwise he'd have been taking an outside rush. They're looking to stop the run. They did it. Now it's 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10. They say no gain on the play. Ball at the 24-yard line. The clock is running. 5:35 to go. 21-20 Raiders. This one's going right down to the wire. Hawkins turns the corner.
Flag down.
Rocker is down.
Holding.
Back at the 20-yard line, and this time holding against the Raiders for a change.
They got that call down pretty good, don't they?
They call a lot of that, don't they? They're going to call
Henry Lawrence.
Henry Lawrence.
Henry Lawrence is away from the play. Can you imagine that? Being called for holding.
Henry Lawrence, who plays the right side, the play went left, and Henry Lawrence gets called for holding. Well, that penalty couldn't come at a better time because Hawkins had picked up about 8 yards on the play.
Number 70, offense, 2nd down.
All right, let's take a look at Henry Lawrence. See what he does.
Bottom of your screen, number 70. Here it is. Well, he tackled him. No wonder they called it.
Dave Lindstrom.
It wasn't even involved in the play. That's,
Look at that statistic. Both teams have been poor in the penalty department. Raiders have been penalized 10 times now for 89 yards. Chiefs have had some that really hurt. Hand off, Marcus Allen. Allen, good run up over the 20, about the 24-yard line on a 2nd down and 20. However, that was Lindstrom in at the left end, and he just pulled him down from behind.
Tackled him, yes. Henry was going on defense. Maybe he played defense at one time.
Coming up to the 5-minute mark, and the clock is running here in Los Angeles. Chiefs and the Raiders, a 1-point ball game now. The Raiders out on top as Allen goes slowly back to the huddle.
Here's the play.
Raiders, of course, not in a hurry to put the ball in play. 3rd down, and we're looking at about 3rd and 12.
I would suspect he'd throw some kind of a safe pass where he don't have to worry about it being intercepted.
3rd and 12 at the 22.
Blitz is on. He's down.
Thomas Howard, number 52, is coming all the way on the play. And so the defense, Len, has done the job one more time. They did exactly what you said they had to do.
They did it. Still plenty at 4.5 minutes remaining. A lot of time left.
Chiefs will get the football back now as Ray Guy comes in to punt. Anthony Hancock will be back at about his own 40-yard line to receive this kick.
Yeah, it's too bad they have Guy back there.
Oh, unfortunately, this guy can boom it out of there. Look at that. That's just today. 6 kicks. He's had to punt 6 times, averaging over 48 yards.
What they must eliminate here, now we're talking about penalties and things. They can't have penalties here. Generally, there's a lot of penalties on special teams because of the angles you're trying to block. But they can't afford to have one now because they should get the ball in decent field position.
Guy will punt from about his own 1-yard line. He gets it away, and this is not an excellent kick by Guy. Hancock probably should have made a fair catch. Get back upfield. Anthony Hancock all the way back to the 28-yard line. Lenny, he had the ball at about his own, the Raiders' own 45-yard line. Should have made a fair catch.
Yeah, he should have, because he had no room to run. You didn't want to take a chance in fumbling the ball. See, the man was right on top of him. Because I can recall, I forget what game it was, that he fumbled a punt.
There he was on his own 45-yard line. They could have had great field position. That was not a really good kick for Guy. He was not happy with the kick, as you can see right there, as he whacks himself in the head. All right, it is 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. There is 3:40 to go in this football game.
Plenty of time.
Chiefs in the I formation. Kenny looks right, throws left, incomplete. Henry Marshall couldn't hang on as Ted Watts popped it.
Plenty of time. He wanted to go to the right side, but Lester Hayes came up on the receiver, and he had to go the other way. Here it is. Kenny taking a look. He wants to go to the right. Here it is, coming right toward us. Ball is floating on him, and it's too high. It's a tough catch. Here's where you get your receivers get hit, nailed right in the back.
2nd down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Raiders by 1, 21-20. Chiefs led at 1 point in this game, 14-0. Kenny out of the spread, has time, steps up and throws. Incomplete. Overthrew Carlos Carson on the play. Carson at about the 48-yard line, a little bit tall for him. He couldn't make the grab. So the Chiefs looking at another big 3rd down conversion. Giants lose that football game. The Eagles beat them 17-13. Giants will be at Arrowhead. Look at San Diego. Now they come from behind to take the lead. They were down 21-0 in that game. Arthur Young returned to pass 40 yards for a touchdown in that game. San Diego 28-21 in the 4th quarter. Right here, we're looking at a 3rd and 10. 3 minutes, 31 seconds left to go in the game. It is 3rd and 10 at the 35. Needless to say, the Chiefs need a 1st down. This could very well be the ball game. Kenny gets hit. Incomplete. That's Ellis Gardner, number 75. That's an incompleted pass. Alzato's the guy who got to Kenny. And so the Raider defense makes a very big play, and that could very well be the ball game. The Chiefs are going to have to turn the football over with 3:27 left.
Bill Kenny back to pass in the spread formation, and here it is, number 77, Lyle Alzado, beating the rookie offensive tackle Ellis Gardner, number 75, and puts him to the turf. The problem is, when you have about 3 or 4 good defensive linemen that rush the passer exceptionally well, who are you going to double team? Here they're double teaming Howie Long, so that means it's one-on-one with Lyle Alzado, an all-pro defensive end.
Arnold back at his own 20-yard line to kick. Pruitt back at his own 25 to receive. The Chiefs have to give it away here now with 3:27 to go, and they're down by a point. This will be a tough game if they lose it, and it'll be because of penalties as much as anything. Here's Pruitt. Pruitt out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Very rarely do you see Pruitt fair catch. He wasn't about to there.
No, he doesn't.
Lyle Alzado, you see, leading the Raiders in the sack department with 5 this season. So 42 yards on the kick. Pretty good kick by Jim Arnold that time, but 12 yards on the return. Now, wait a minute. Is there a flag down on this? All right.
Penalty decline. 1st down.
Chiefs were called for illegal formation. They had 6 men on the line, but they'll decline that penalty, so the Raiders will put it in play at the 27-yard line. Comes up tonight at 10:30, Sunday Sports Extra here on TV5. 3:15 to go and counting. The Raiders will obviously stay on the ground. Dave Lindstrom is there to make the tackle on Frank Hawkins. On 1st and 10, he gets maybe 2, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
Their only hope now is to go for that football. You know, to stop him. Somebody hold the man up, and the rest of them go after the football, hope they get a turnover.
A couple of things really hurt him. Anthony Hancock doesn't fair catch. They had great field position. Instead, he puts them in the hole. That hurt. Offense couldn't do anything. Well, they were 1st and 10 at the 4.
That was not poor judgment. That wasn't, you know, that big a deal because they still didn't do anything after they got football. All they were looking for was a field goal. You know, here we got a man that kicks as well as anybody in the National Football League in Lowry. Just get him close.
Handoff is to Hawkins.
See see him trying to grab the ball?
Everybody's going for the football. The clock is running.
They're going to get it back again. 2:20 left in the ball game. The 2 minutes are going to stop the clock.
Chiefs, remember, only have 2 timeouts left.
Right, I'm sure that the Raiders are going to let it go down to the 2-minute warning.
Hawkins has been tough this afternoon. You see the stats on him. He's done quite a bit of running, particularly here in the 4th quarter. 1-point ball game. You see the whistle here. There's the 2-minute warning. So the Raiders, when they come back after this timeout, will be looking at a 3rd down and 6 to go. 2-minute warning here in Los Angeles. Raiders lead at 21-20. There's about 8.5 minutes left in that Tampa Bay-Dallas game. You believe that score, Leonard?
Well, I don't know. They were the worst team that McKay'd ever seen last week. They had to get better, I guess.
Yes, they did. Either that or Dallas got a whole lot worse real fast. 3rd down and 7. Plunkett.
He'll run. No, he's going to run.
Gets it away. First down.
Who is it? 32, Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen has literally killed the Chiefs today. He has done it all by himself. That time he makes a big catch on a 3rd down play, and that could be the football game. Clock is running with 1:40, 21-20. Oh, this has been a tough afternoon. I tell you, the penalties, you go back and think about some of those penalty calls that the Chiefs had. That really, they took themselves out of the game.
A lot of penalties don't make any difference, but there are certain situations, depending on what happens, where a penalty is very, very significant. There's been a couple of occasions this afternoon where that's been the case for the Chiefs.
Raiders stay on the ground. Again, they give it to Marcus Allen. Allen is up to about the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. Chiefs finally call a timeout to stop the clock here with 1:07 to go. They will stop it. Sambrower made the tackle on Marcus Allen. So Allen, let's see, he's thrown a touchdown pass, right?
Yes, he has.
All right, he scored a touchdown when he recovered a fumble. He's made some key blocks.
Pass reception there was kind of important.
They made a big catch right there on a big 3rd down play. He's done it all. Every time we look up, he's been the guy. Now there's the timeouts left in this game. Chiefs have only 1 remaining, and there's 1:07 left. They used one early in the 4th quarter, you may recall.
I think that's a pretty good example of why you don't take a timeout, unless you really have to. But, you need them. If you don't need them at the end of the game or the end of the half, that's fine. But if you do need them, you hate to take one early because of some confusion in the huddle or some confusion at the line of scrimmage.
Chiefs, who led in this game 17-7 at the half, have been held to just 1 field goal in the 2nd half. They had 2 touchdowns in that first half and led 14-0 at one point. And so far, all we've got to show on the scoreboard for Kansas City is Nick Lowry's field goal.
You mentioned the penalties. I can recall that Deron Cherry intercepted a pass, but it wasn't any good because of a penalty, holding. It was, I think, holding away from where the ball was thrown.
And another play was a big 3rd down play where they had to convert. You remember they threw the ball to Kenny Thomas. There was a big drive late in the 4th quarter here. Kenny Thomas gets the first down and more. Penalty holding calls that play back, and they have to end up punting the ball away with 4 minutes to go. Chiefs still trying to get the football. You saw Lloyd Burris go after Marcus Allen that time. That's it. Kansas City calls their last timeout. And the Raiders, with 1:02, will be facing a 3rd down and 6 after this timeout. Tough game if they lose this one, Les.
Yes, it is, because they played well. Chiefs have played well. They've done some things very well. But they have to eliminate their own mistakes. And most of the time, penalties are your own mistakes.
John Makovic, who's not too happy about the way his team has played, particularly here in the 2nd half. Raiders have had a lot of penalties, too. But again, it seemed like a lot of those Raider penalties didn't come at crucial times.
They've just done enough, So say that Plunkett doesn't do things in a pretty way, but he gets things done. 15-27, 2 interceptions, 124 yards. But, he calls his own play, so he's utilizing the rest of the people out there, and he's utilized Marcus Allen very well. Marcus Allen has contributed a great deal to the offense today. 1:02 remaining. I do not look for them to put it in the air. They're going to keep it on the ground.
They'll stay on the ground. Kansas City with no more timeouts remaining here, so that timeout they took earlier in the 4th quarter really is one they could use right now. They stay on the ground.
He fumbles.
Allen loses the football. Oh, I think he has it. No, what do they say? They blow it dead?
I think so.
Quick whistle. Quick whistle, Len. You realize if that's a fumble recovery, look where the football would be.
Yes, I do.
Let's take a look and see. Boy, that looked like a quick whistle to me.
Well, Marcus Allen shouldn't take a chance at all.
Tuck it in there.
Here he is. He's going. He's down. His knee's down.
Yeah.
His knee is down.
Dave Lindstrom is the guy who wrapped him up behind the line of scrimmage. Now we've got a Raider player down, then there's a timeout. That has stopped the clock right here with 50 seconds to go. That's a final now. San Diego wins that game, 28-21 over Seattle. Chargers at one time led or trailed 21-0.
Yeah, the man down is Marcus Allen, Don, I believe. Remember, bear in mind, he had a hip pointer, played just, I believe, one play last week against the Washington Redskins.
They didn't know until a couple of days ago whether he'd play today.
A hip pointer, I don't know if people realize how painful that type of injury is. I mean, you could play with them, but every time you get hit in that area, it's a great deal of pain.
Maybe it was painful, but it didn't hamper his play today, did it? He's been a one-man wrecking crew out there. Boy, he has been something else. Marcus Allen gets a good hand from the crowd here at the Coliseum, but the stats don't really tell the whole story on this guy. He's made all the big plays, even some great blocking in the backfield as well. He's just been a super all-around player today.
I'll tell you, that injury, you know, they stopped the clock at 50 seconds. Otherwise, they would have let it run down to about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. I'm sure they'll take the penalty.
Chiefs will get the ball back here, Len, and there's still a possibility. Remember,
10 men on the line. Looks like they're going after Ray Guy. He's a tough one to block, punt on.
Here they come. Guy just gets it away. Hancock upfield. They're about the 21-yard line and no more. Chiefs will have to go quickly here now. Remember, they have no timeouts.
Well, they can take their time to call this play, but 40 seconds to go.
Albert Lewis is getting up slowly right now. There are the statistics on Kinney. Pretty fair afternoon, 238 yards. Albert Lewis coming off slowly. There's 40 seconds to go now in this football game. The Chiefs down by 1. Obviously, all they would like to do now is get into field goal position so that Nick Lowry could do something. There you see the time remaining in this football game. I want to thank our spotters and stats people who have done a great job up here in the booth today. Danny Moore and Jeff Burren here in Los Angeles. They've made this job very easy for me. Here we go, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Spread formation. Kinney throws, incomplete.
Well, he got nailed by Alzado again. They better give some help to that young man over there at that left tackle spot. Alzado started the outside, came back to the inside. They have 3 men rushing. They've got 5 men blocking on that line of scrimmage. He really got nailed. Bill Kinney really got hit from his blind side.
A couple times today he's been blindsided. That pass was intended for Theodis Brown. That play took only 4 seconds. There's 36 seconds left. 2nd down and 10 at the 20. 21-20 is our score of the Raiders. Chiefs in the spread. There you see the Raiders with 3 down linemen.
Now they give him help.
As Tom Brown makes the catch, same play, steps out of bounds and stops the clock. 31 seconds left as Brown steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So it's a gain of 7. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. There you see the time remaining. Len, what is the defense doing here? They can't.
They're bending back. They say, all right, catch anything in front of you. When you catch it, we're going to try to tackle you and keep you in bounds. We'll give you anything in the middle. You take a look at the secondary. That the safety man, it will be 20, 25 yards deep.
3rd down and 3.
Linebackers are about 7, 8 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Kinney, 1st down again.
Is that a penalty flag back there?
No. Stephon Page out of bounds on the play. Kinney takes a shot here. We may get a roughing the passer call or a holding call. We'll have to see because Kinney really gets hit.
They're double teaming Alzado.
That couldn't be roughing the passer. That looked a little late. Number 93, Greg Townsend, was in there. It is.
It is.
That's what it is. Hey, now wait a minute. The ball is at midfield. There's 25 seconds left to go in this football game.
Right.
Listen to the foul.
70
for the quarterback. Number 75.
75, Howie Long. Yeah, he's the one that they called for.
Let us remember Nick Lowry's range and how far he can kick field goals.
59.
He had a 58-yarder. The ball is at midfield right now. 25 seconds to go. 1st and 10. This ball game's not over yet. Don't go away.
They may blitz him. They may go after this now. Nope.
Kenny throws complete. Brown out of bounds. Stops the clock. Brown is out of bounds at the Raider 43-yard line. He stops the clock with 20 seconds left.
Where is Nick Lowry? Oh, there he is.
Oh,
he's ready. He's ready. He's already been loosening up. I'm sure been kicking into the screen over there, or net.
Now remember, Kansas City has no timeouts left, so you've got to, whatever play you've got to run here is one you've got to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Is that timeout now?
Keeps coming back to that timeout in the 4th quarter, early in the 4th. Listen to the crowd. They know what's happening now. 20 seconds to go. 1st and 10 at the Los Angeles 43-yard line.
They've got to get out of bounds because I don't think they can catch it in.
Throwing long, incomplete. Theodis Brown had his man beat. He had Otis McKinney beat. Lenny, if he makes the catch, he might go all the way. There was nobody between Theodis Brown and the goal line.
Here it is, Bill Kenny going back. Gets it out and just gets a hand on it right there. And there's nobody back deep. You're right about that. And you can see what Theodis Brown is thinking. Had he caught the ball, jumped out of bounds, it's an excellent field goal position.
The play took 5 seconds. He could have either gone all the way or stopped the clock. Now, this is 3rd down and 3. No timeouts remaining for Kansas City. Kenny throwing complete. Theodis Brown, he's out of bounds at the 30. They are well within field goal range.
And they got to go now. They got to go now.
They have stopped the clock. There is 9 seconds left. There is no more time to run another play. You've got to kick the field goal right here. His longest kick, remember, a 58-yarder in that game against the Washington Redskins. Nick the kick. Can win this football game for the Chiefs.
47-yard field goal.
Lenny, if he makes this, it's a penalty that decided this football game. The roughing the passer call against the Raiders gave the ball to the Chiefs at midfield.
48-yard field goal.
This will be a 48-yard attempt. They'll spot it at the 38-yard line. Listen to this crowd. They will tell you what happened. It's blocked. It's all over. The Raiders win it. Holy cow, what a way for this one to end. There's 1 second left on the clock. There's a Raider player down. There's 1 second left on the clock, but the football game is over. Nick Lowry, who was almost automatic from inside the 40-yard line.
I wonder who blocked that. It came up the middle.
Hendricks.
Not Eddie Pitt. Stuart Hendricks.
Your man Hendricks, I think, is the guy who did it. Here it is, a good hold.